15th of January. The earliest time thousands of sheep and cattle can be transported off an export ship berthed off the coast of Fremantle is tomorrow. The animals have been on board the MV FIVEAA for 26 days now, after it was diverted due to rising tensions in the Red Sea. WA Premier Roger Cook says there are plenty of logistical hurdles in place, making a simple solution very difficult.
We did offer a berth to the export company on Tuesday. They decided to delay docking, could be for a range of logistical reasons, so those animals hopefully will be destocked tomorrow.
Exporters and farmers are calling for the ship to be restocked and sent back to the sea, but animal activists say the livestock has spent enough time on open water and are now having to endure 40-plus temperatures. A Pennsylvania groundskeeper dying of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma after a lifetime of using the pesticide Roundup has been awarded $2.25 billion in damages. It's one of the biggest ever payouts to an individual for company negligence. The manufacturer, Bayer, intends to appeal. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Get a Walco blankie for your pool this summer and save water evaporation and money. Walco.com.au.
Australia's best cricketers will be crowned in Melbourne tonight. Eddie Summerfield reports.
Retaining the Ashes, a one-day World Cup and World Test champions. It's been an all-conquering year for our men's cricket side. The Allan Border Medal will tonight recognise the best player. Usman Khawaja's Test year scoring more than 1,000 runs, Pat Cummins 44 wickets in 11 Tests, and Travis Head's multi-format success from Tests to the World Cup final are among the favourites. The Belinda Clark Award will crown our best women's cricketer. Ashley Gardner's record 56 wickets have her as favourite, while Elise Perry is also a chance as our top scorer in one-day cricket.
Arsenal's dream of a first EPL title in 20 years remains alive after a 2-1 win over Nottingham Forest. The Gunners moved to second place on the table, 2 points behind league leaders Liverpool. In other results, Aston Villa lost 3-0 to Newcastle, while Luton Town upset Brighton 4-0. Everton has dropped into the relegation zone despite hanging on for a goalless draw against Fulham. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
We've got you covered for shade this summer. Visit the Outdoor Scenes new location, Wilton Avenue, Somerton Park.
G'day there at Bedford Park. Bucket of paint on the road on the Southern Expressway at our main South Road entry ramp. Slow for works at Season, Tapley's Hill Road near Grange Road. Busy for works at Clove Valley Park, South Road and English Avenue. And we've got cameras today, Kisters Road, Para Hills West and Waterloo Corner Road at Burton. With Keno Go, you're only 3 minutes away from a whopping $40 million jackpot. Play with only $2. Download the Keno Go app and start playing today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
And the latest forecast, cloud clearing today, sunny, 28 the top tomorrow after an overnight low of 14, cloud clearing on Friday, 29, and a sunny warm weekend, 33 on Saturday, 35 on Sunday. Currently 25. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, Crow star Rory Sloane's footy future uncertain as he has surgery for a detached retina in his eye for a second time. We expose an Adelaide online scam, how not to get ripped off. Inflation at a 2-year low, how soon mortgage holders could see a rate cut. And does bundling your bills actually save you money? Our special report. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 now.
The FIVEAA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
5 minutes after 4, welcome along on this sunny Wednesday. Geez, it's a big day for news in our local footy front. We'll get to all of that and more as we're here for the next 3 hours till 7 o'clock. Timmy G, Stephen Rowe, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Sam. A warm Wednesday welcome to you all. Thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, you're right. Terrific show coming up. Really looking forward to our Where Are They Now? Yes. We had to pre-record this because he's over in the United States, but the big serving Roscoe Tanner in the 70s and early 80s, terrific character too, so look forward to that. Kids are back at school, you sort of get that feeling. I'm back on duty as far as taking the twins to school again. I do that a couple of times a week, and this morning before we left, my granddaughter said to me, "Papa, can we have $2 for the canteen?" You've got to love this. And I said, $2? I said, gee whiz, how come you want $2? And she said to me, well, $2, I can buy anything. Now, I love that. The world of optimism of a kid, you know, like $2, I could buy anything at the canteen I want. It was sensational. So, look, welcome back, Stephen. I know Wednesday's Rory Day, is it not?
Rory Day, had a good day. I missed the Tanner interview.
Yes,
I did all my homework.
You had some technical difficulties?
I did.
Yeah.
I think Rory must have pushed a couple of buttons he shouldn't have.
He was in charge.
Because you're at home with WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Like, technology's outstanding.
Yeah.
He's sitting over there in Florida.
Laughing that we couldn't get it going.
We need to video those in
the
future.
It's
we
embarrassing.
audio do them.
Last time it was me. I had all the troubles with John Barnes, and this time it was you. So I feel a bit better.
Well, I'm looking forward to that interview for Where Are They Now? Like, he was huge in the 70s.
Massive. You know, I thought he was a taller man. He was just
6 foot.
Just on 6 foot, yeah. So, but I had a ripping serve. Best ever serve was 153 mile an hour. So
which is over 240.
Unbelievable serve. So, yeah, interesting.
But that's all he had, really, wasn't
it? Yeah. He went 5 sets with Bjorn Borg at Wimbledon.
Well, he did.
He must have had a little bit more to his game to go that
Won a
far.
few Davis Cups, played in a good era.
Won an Australian Open. So.
I said to Stacey in the preview, he had a mighty career on court. I think his one off was a little bit... He used to write. He wrote checks he couldn't cash. A little bit of bouncy.
Yeah, they were the days.
He wanted to buy a yacht. It bounced. Ended up in a German jail, and he said, "Well, I didn't even want the yacht."
Yeah,
what are you doing?
You got to test things out.
You do.
To see how we go.
Look forward to that.
You know, I'm not a superstitious man at all, and I know a lot of players were. I didn't have any of those superstitions. I believed, you prepared yourself right. You're laughing, but I got a nasty feeling that a black cat must have crossed over West Lakes Boulevard. What's happening down there, Rowey?
Well, today Rory Sloane had more surgery, overnight, with a detached retina.
Ow.
Now, you don't want to hear that. It's the same eye he had the surgery on in 2021. 2014, he actually tore his retina. Mm-hmm. So he's had 3 lots of surgery to
on
this
the eye.
Same eye. Have a listen to him back here.
Copped a knock in the Sydney game and then had some flashing through my right eye. Got that checked out. It was all good, but the flashing was like a symptom, almost a precursor of a detached retina. And then something I must have either, it can happen from overstraining or I might have copped a knock, who knows, over the coming days. Yeah, the top right-hand part of my eye was, I didn't have the peripherals there, which I knew it was darkened, and I've torn my retina before, so I knew that was a symptom of something like that, so I went and saw a doc again.
So it wasn't the same eye?
Same eye that I have, it was about 8 years ago, I think I tore the retina in this eye. And a tear in the retina, that's a much better result. You just got to get that lasered back together. The detached retina is that's not the good one. If you do a complete detachment, then you lose your eyesight and need a full-on bit of surgery to try and get your eyesight back.
So what have you done?
I detached it, but not fully.
He's got a body of work now on that eye.
Yeah.
It's a worry.
It is a worry, and I know last year he had a bit of a scratch on the eye as well, which didn't help. And we spoke to him about it.
A little scary moment, I suppose, Saturday night. Ended up getting a couple of stitches in the eye, but avoided any retina damage, which is the main one.
Was it the same eye?
Same eye, yeah. Coming off the ground, I was like, right, I can't see much here. I want to get my vision back. And then shot off at halftime to hospital to then check the retina out. And then saw there was a scratch in the eye from Murph Man's nails.
Now, that was round 23.
Yeah, correct. So he's had a lot of issues with it, but here he is also talking about the importance of it, because I know a lot of people will be saying, do you want to take that risk? And here he is just saying, how important eyes are.
When you're talking about your eyes, I mean, you want to take the expert's advice because eyes are forever and football's just a now, but yeah, I like seeing things. It's pretty nice to have a look around, and yeah, last thing I want to be doing is messing with the eyes.
This is real. Like, if you've had too many head knocks, you're like Paul Seedsman. You have too many detached retinas or knocks to the eye, you got to do one or two things. Think about your future, or do a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, if I was his brother, his mum, his dad, his wife, if I was part of his family and his mentor circle, mate, you play a fierce brand of footy.
Yeah, he knows
you can't afford. And I reckon his surgeon said, Rory, this is it, mate. No more. Yeah. He might have to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Wear the goggles?
Well, I would.
Even then, it does protect the eyes, but and we've seen Mason Cox wear the goggles, so it's not out of the realms.
Eye. You don't want to lose your eyesight.
You don't want to lose that eye.
No.
I tend to agree with you.
So we'll watch that with real interest.
But you've got some other injuries down there too, haven't
you?
There
is. Now we know Nick Murray's recovering from an ACL, so he'll be out of round one. So you count them. That's one.
Okay, there's one.
Harry Schomburg's recovering from Achilles. That's two.
Yes.
Wayne Miller, well, look, it's 3 weeks. You normally say 4, but you'd say round one at his best would be in some doubt. So
Okay.
that's 3.
Yep.
Butch Jones and Zach Taylor all had foot surgery. So they've got a pre-season that's a little bit, behind the 8 ball. Ed Himmelberg
6.
had a hamstring.
Oh, 7.
7. Now we hear Jake Saligo. Well, Rory Sloane's out for round 1. You count him out. So that's 8.
Yeah.
Jake Saligo did his ankle.
That's 9.
Now, well, it's
Might be
nothing
right.
structural. We're
Okay,
hearing
that's good.
it's a strain. So, I don't
Yeah,
know, what's
yeah,
that, 2,
you
3,
roll the
4?
ankle, yeah.
You miss 1, you miss 4.
Yeah.
So he could be in doubt for round 1 as well.
Yeah. It is a concern, isn't it?
Well, that's a fair... Oh, and I didn't mention Wayne Miller, did I?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, you
Well,
did.
there's 7.
So, yeah, look, that's a lot of players. That
It is.
Yeah. And it sort of, again, comes back to my theory that when I spoke to Rowan Smith a few weeks ago, just about how much does match simulation have a bearing on these injuries? And are we doing too much
But
of it?
can't you have runs of it? Isn't it just luck?
You can. And it's probably, if you're going to have them, now's a good time to have a run of the
Well, that's
injuries, 'cause
true.
You don't want them in season, do you?
But what about Port, other than managing Connor Rosie? Well, we've got Ivan Soldo on.
Correct.
Something wrong with his finger?
He had that post-season and he
Okay.
had to have it redone, but...
He's all right?
Yeah, he's fine.
Alia's all right?
And Aaliyah had a little bit of hip flexor, but I think, they're pretty healthy. So
Good.
They're not too much concerned with them. And,
Good.
And we'll have Ivan on a little bit later in the show, which is great. But, hey, there was some news coming out of Channel 9. Tom Morris actually reported some good news maybe on the front for Coach Matty Nix.
Matthew Nix, well, he'll sign a 2-year deal at some stage in the next few weeks, maybe even before round 1 as well. The Crows are keen to not let that be a distraction heading into 2024.
There you go. What do you think of that?
Well, I think that's a tick. I think it's a no-brainer. The group's connected. They had an improvement year. They've got their list together. I think they play a great brand of footy as far as they attack the goal face. I think he's done a mighty job.
Yeah.
His first year, bottom, wooden spoon. From there, there's been a gradual increase. I think the rebuild's over, well and truly over. There's some real class there, and I'm looking forward to a good year. Why would you not re-sign him?
No, fair enough too.
Well, who's in the wings? You keep hearing Simon Goodwin's name pop up, but, mate, he's done a good job. Reward him.
Okay,
Get
there
it out of
is.
the way.
You heard it first. Give us a call, 8223 if you agree with that. Text came in, Unique Homestyle Food, just caught my eye. Rowey, why didn't the Crows let Sloane go last year, free up a spot? He will be lucky to play games this year, says Carlos.
Well, Carlos, he's an ex-captain. He's a great of the club. He's a, he played in the grand final. I was going to say a premiership player. He's not that, but he's a multiple BNF. He had multiple overtures to head elsewhere. He's loyal. He loves the Crows. And he's on minimum chips, Carlos, and I mean minimum chips. Okay. He's playing because he loves this club.
Chicken salt?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Probably.
Thrown in.
So there are rare people, Carlos,
that you
rare
do that
people
for.
that you would offer that to,
Yep.
and he's one of them, in my opinion. And I still think he'll contribute. In the right way, he'll contribute.
Okay. We spoke about Ivan Solder. He will be coming on the show, having a chat to us, but he actually was interviewed today and just spoke a little bit on Port's midfield.
I think I've always been very fortunate to play with some great midfielders back at Richmond, and then coming to another club, I got another 3 great mids and more mids around me that are very experienced, very talented, and are looking like they're going to play some really good footy for another 10 years. So from what I've seen, the confidence that Butsy has and Rosie has is so good to see. And Horn Francis is only 20 years old, so he's going to develop into quite a player late into his 20s. So I'm just excited to see what they can do and how they can progress.
Yeah, so he's excited about his new club and his new opportunity. So I did like also in that interview, he sort of said, well, look, I'm not guaranteed to be first ruck. He said it might be me, might be Jordan. He said, look, I just know that they'll pick the best side and I just got to make sure I'm informed. So I did like that attitude. Excellent. So just some important news. Family Day, Feb 10, but they will play their internal trial Feb 16, same as the Crows.
Well, I think a ruckman can get made look good by his midfielders. But a ruckman can make midfielders stars.
I think we know, as people that were underneath that hand, that the
You'd
real
rather
good
have one
ones,
that can do it than can't.
Makes life a little bit
Oh,
easier.
God.
A lot easier. So that'll be a good one to see how that plays out. Hey, the Australian Cricket Awards are on tonight. It's where they present the Alan Border Medal and the Belinda Clark Medal. That'll be live on Channel 7 and Fox. I think we heard maybe Ash Gardner's in the running, Beth Mooney, but I reckon Talia McGrath will push him as well.
Oh, yeah.
Our captain of the
to.
Strikers, absolute champion, and has been voted as vice captain now, and I think on the back of performance. So I like to say she's a big chance. As far as the Australians go in the male, what do you reckon category?
Well, Uzi will win the Test cricketer because he was the ICC Test cricketer.
He was.
His season was outstanding.
Yes.
Mitch Marsh should have to be around the mark.
Played all three.
Because he played all three.
Which
I
is
think
great.
Travis Head will be in the top three. I think Pat Cummins should win it. And I'm hearing they're going to give a really big send-off and a tribute to Davey Warner. I just wished if they did that Ricky Gervais was the MC.
Oh. I was just wondering where you were going then, because I thought, this is all nice and fluffy. Not anymore. Very good. I like that.
Did you like
Very good indeed. So
I think Pat Cummins will win.
Yeah. I don't mind watching that, like all medal presentations. You nip out, nip in, and you probably get enough, don't you? But I think it's become quite the award, and I'm glad they've got one now because they never used to have the awards, and I think it's a nice little touch anyway. So, big news too, I woke up to.
Who's out?
As I was taking the kids to the school. Aston Villa chasing Joe Gauci.
Have they got him?
What about that? Well, I don't know. And whether they would just perhaps sign him and then loan him back.
What are we doing?
That can happen. We're producing great talent.
Craig Goodwin's gone. Nestori Irankund's gone.
Yeah.
Stephen Hall's going. Alexander Popovich is going.
Yeah.
Musa Toure apparently is another.
Yeah.
Now Joe Gauci.
We're producing great talent. And it was
but don't we want to win the A-League?
Well, if you keep producing good talent like that, you're going to get your chance at it. Don't worry. So
not if
that's
you just
important.
trade them off.
Well, it is part of what I suppose the clubs do now is that there are bigger leagues.
So you play for transfers. We're playing to develop. We're a development league.
We're development, but what we can then do with that money is bring players to the club that perhaps are required, but keep spending on development as well. So that's the thing. I mean, we've been up there. This year we're obviously... we're battling around midfield. We've got to get a few more wins on the board to play finals, but that is just a testament, I think, to the development pathway that they've got here.
Well done. No, you're right, and I agree with that. Get a good transfer, fill the bank account up, but as long as they spend some of that on players, and their number one goal is to win the A-League. I hope that is.
Yeah.
From afar, I feel their number one goal is develop, transfer, and get money in the tin tank.
I think if you spoke to Carl Viet... I reckon I know what he'd say.
Well, of course he is. Yeah,
he wants to win.
Well, absolutely. The footy department, win.
Yeah.
But he needs support from the back office.
Yeah, you're talking more owners. It got me to thinking. You know, we were talking about Port Adelaide, even the Adelaide United. Just thinking, going into 2024, if you could just change one thing about your team moving into 24, and it could be, you know, you could barrack for Carlton, you could play Hawthorn. What's that one change you want to see in your team?
Just
only the one. I know you got a shopping list. It's not Christmas.
I got 6.
It's not Santa Claus.
One.
It's just the one. Now, you know, what would it be for Adelaide moving into 24? If you could just have the one change.
The one change.
What would
if it's just one thing?
Just one thing you want to see.
And they did this last year, they'd be top 4 by the numbers.
Okay.
Win the close games.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like it. Win the close ones. And it was something that Port had to get their head around because that few years they didn't make finals was because they were losing close ones. They've now turned that around. They had a 6-1 record. So
the one thing. What's your one thing?
My one thing? I want the forward line entry to improve.
Okay.
I think Port Adelaide always hold up well in defence. I think everybody knows that that's an extremely exciting midfield.
It's a top 4 midfield.
I reckon that's the last piece to get this right is the forward entry and to make sure that we produce enough goals. Yeah. I think that's been the one bugbear. Been the one bugbear.
My one thing for Port, finish that bloody jigsaw puzzle. Like that one?
Well, I think
finish your jigsaw puzzle, Tim.
The pieces
it's been 12 years.
The pieces are there.
The pieces have to be there.
They're all there now. Okay.
Your one thing.
Have your say. 8223 0000. Crows and Porter on the show with Riley O'Brien and Ivan Soldo tonight. And Where Are They Now at 5 with Roscoe Tanner. Great start. Grand Slam winner here in Australia. 8223 0000 is the number. We'll get to your calls after this, 21 after 4.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
What makes Ray White the big name in business broking? They're people, like multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year, Brett Buckley, and his team of business professionals. They take a deep dive into your business, finding value and potential, and they know what they're looking for because they know businesses. They're not real estate salespeople trying to sell businesses, they're business people selling businesses. If you want to know what your business is worth, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA, multiple Business Broker of the Year awards.
This is life-changing. The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery's $3.6 million grand prize is spectacular seaside living at Henley Beach. You could be living on permanent holiday mortgage-free in a fully furnished Scott Salisbury home with $250,000 cash in the bank. Get your tickets now. Join the fight and support life-changing medical research for all South Australians. Homelottery.com.au. Licence M14493.
There's nothing better than holidays with the family, but sometimes it seems like an eternity to get there. Car Trip Trivia is the perfect road trip circuit breaker. Join me, Stephen Cray, for a family-friendly trivia podcast with something for everyone, whether you're 7 or 77. There's a huge back catalogue and more than 4,000 questions and answers covering geography, science, music, movies, and of course, the Friday Funny. Let's get this show on the road. Download Car Trip Trivia on the Smooth Player app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. On time, on budget, on the job.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
It's time to take a closer look at a Peugeot with drive-away offers on new and demo SUVs. Like the Peugeot 3008 GT SUV from an alluring drive-away price. With an elevated driving position and the latest safety features, this mid-size SUV epitomises style and comfort. Take advantage of new and demo SUVs available for prompt delivery while stocks last. T's and C's apply. Head to Peugeot.com.au or visit your local Peugeot dealer today.
CMAX Clinical Research is currently investigating potential prevention that could help millions of people, but we can't do this without the help of proud South Australians like you. If you're a healthy adult aged 18 to 50, then you may be eligible to participate. The study, C07723, requires you to spend 3 nights at our facility and attend 2 follow-up visits. Upon completion, you'll be reimbursed for your time. Want to learn more? Visit cmax.com.au to apply today. That's cmax.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
24 minutes after 4. What's the one thing you want your footy club to change in 2024? 8223 0000. Some news on the other side of the traffic here as well in regards to mid-season trading. Will it happen this year or not? We'll find out.
At Elizabeth, look out for a crash. Elizabeth Way near the Woodford Road roundabouts. Bedford Park, bucket of paint on the road there. Southern Expressway near Main South Road entry ramp. And slow for works at Paradise today. Darley Road near Millville Road. Got some cameras. Barramundi Drive, Hullett Cove and Grant Road at Ranello. Pre-order the new Samsung Galaxy S24 at Telstra and get a bonus grey Galaxy Tab S9 FE. Ends February 6. Eligibility criteria apply and find out more in store. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Unique home style food text, go on berserk, 822 300 00. The one thing you change at your club. I said win the close ones for Crows. Timmy, you said?
Forward line entry for Port.
Yeah, well this bill said coach. So is that Crows coach or Port coach?
Right.
The coach.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't even played a game yet.
Not a game.
Now, what's happened with Erebus? They've issued a statement.
Yeah, they have, just saying that Brodie Kostecki will sit out the first round of 24 and Todd Hazelwood will stand in for the reigning Supercars champ. And then the CEO of Supercars, Shane Howard, said, "We understand the gravity of Brodie's decision and the challenges that he may be facing at this time." There you go.
So
what are those
So
challenges?
they've laid it at his feet. We thought it was a fight between he and the co-owner, who we thought was the CEO, but not
Which
anymore.
could be the challenge.
Okay.
Yeah,
So is it discipline?
Well,
is it fitness?
You can speculate.
Did he drink too much Coca-Cola in the break?
Potentially.
Because he's a big boy.
But I'm not sure.
Is it a
that challenge.
That's weird.
Well, it's
that is weird. So you're
it's gonna
talking
come out eventually.
Well, you're talking the championship driver had a terrific year, won it for Erebus, their best driver.
Yep.
So like winning the Brownlow medal, or Plugger Lockett kicking all those goals, and they've obviously said, mate, you need to.
Well, what you're saying there is like Tony Lockett, 1987 Brownlow medalist, kicks over 100. By the way,
you're a bit fat,
lose a bit of weight. I think I know what Tony would
Why
have
don't
said.
you sit in the sauna?
I know what Tony would have said.
He has now. Have you seen him lately?
Oh yeah, he's quite thin now. He doesn't quite look the same anymore, big plugger. But
Well, that's
what a champion
huge.
he certainly was.
And breaking news on Joe Gauchi, it's done.
Well, no, we got
no.
we got
Is it done or not
Paulie,
done?
you know, Tim Tam Paulie likes to chip in. He reckons that Joe Gauchi gone, Aston Villa, and yes, Alexander Popovic is playing at the Korean Soccer League at Gangwon.
Okay.
FC.
Now we know the commission's meeting next week. There's a lot of things on the table, you know, subs
Yes.
and the Maynard rule and this, that and the other. With another one, they've asked clubs and they've invited clubs to put forward new ways to help increase the numbers of Indigenous players coming through the AFL as part of the league survey that they're doing, which they've been doing for years, haven't they? I remember back in 2022, they did an Indigenous report, and from that, the numbers, they said, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. 11% of all the players in the AFL are Indigenous.
Yep.
Last year it was 81 men and 20 women. They come from 73 different cultural backgrounds and language groups, so it's bloody hard to hone in on just one area, isn't it? So it's a job at hand, there's no question about that. In the last 33 years, there's been 2 Brownlow medalists. Let's just say that's the pinnacle. 2 Brownlow medalists. Gavin Wanganeen, 93, and Adam Goods in 06. So I'm just saying, I'm going to compare all of that to the NRL. You'd say that's like for like, wouldn't it? There's an Eastern Border Conference, the NRL, Rugby League. Well, have a look at their numbers for Indigenous. And they have programs. So what I'd be saying is, whatever they're doing in the NRL, we need to copy or have a look. Because their numbers are this, and I'll just give you a bit of background. Indigenous folk make up 3.2% of the Australian population.
So we're over-indexed on the 11%
AFL,
in
11,
AFL.
yep.
Yep.
They make up, in the NRL, 14% of total players.
Okay. So
it's
slightly larger.
above.
Yep, 3
slightly
more
above.
Yep.
But in the last 33 years, equivalent to the AFL numbers I just gave you, 33% of their Dally M medalists are Indigenous.
Yeah, right. Okay. So that's quite
So 1 in every
significant.
3 over 33 years are the best player in the NRL.
Yeah. You know the stat I'd probably put more credence on? How many Indigenous players have played in an AFL premiership?
Okay.
That would be an interesting stat. I know, because there was 4 in Port Adelaide's 2004 premiership team, and you'd sort of go, if you went on that stat.
Well, we need that homework.
That would be quite an interesting stat to say, okay, let's just do it from when potentially we want to count the AFL. 1990, I think they changed the name to AFL. So let's maybe take it from there and have a look at the numbers.
And the ones that win Norm Smith
played
medals.
in premierships. Yeah.
Norm Smith medal. Well, straight off the bat, Cyril.
Andrew McLeod, a couple.
Andrew McLeod, a couple.
Yeah.
Choppy Pickett.
Did Goods win one in 2012?
Yep.
Goods has
I
won
reckon
one.
Didn't he? Yeah. There you go. So numbers would be a lot higher there, and that's one performing in finals, 2 helping your team win. That's the stat for me.
But I like that. Whatever we can do, because they make our game better.
Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt.
The Next Gen Academy's been great. What they're probably saying here is, how can we get even more?
Yeah.
That's all they're saying.
And as a part of the AFL Commission's discussions at the minute as well, mid-season trade period, set to be introduced not this year, but in 2025. So the clubs have been given an extra 12 months to then get themselves organised, because there's been picks and things that have been traded away in the previous draft and trade period. So 2025, mid-season trading.
So long as they get rid of mid-season draft.
Well,
that's my compensation. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, and having a crack at the sample.
That's what I'm saying. It gets rid of all those kids going in.
We'll get rid of that this year.
Yeah, well, we'll soon see. AFL's got some decisions to make next week, but you can have your say on all that and more. 8223 0000. Headlines, Crows, Riley O'Brien next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
David Bruce with the latest news headlines. An interest rate cut is likely this year as new data shows inflation continues to moderate. There's some light at the end of the tunnel with wholesale power prices on the way down, which should eventually bring down household electricity bills. The number of adults who vape continues to rise despite a crackdown from the federal government. And Crow Rory Sloan is recovering from surgery on his right eye last night. Now checking 5AA traffic.
We've got you covered for shade this summer. Visit the Outdoor Scene's new location, Wilton Avenue, Somerton Park.
Crash to look out for in the city, Flinders Street near Pulteney Street, breakdown at Croydon, slowing things up, north-south motorway near Hawker Street, and Bedford Park, got a bucket of paint on the road there, avoid that. Southern Expressway near Main South Road entry ramp. Roadwork today at Seaton, Tapley Hill Road near Grange Road with cameras, Old South Road, Old Ranella, and Salisbury Highway at Dry Creek. Does riding give you a sense of freedom? Do you feel so connected to the road? If you love riding and want to keep riding, back off. Think road safety. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The latest forecast now, cloud clearing today. Tomorrow will be sunny, a top of 28. Currently, it's 25. More news at 5, and as it happens on 5AA.
Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a contagious virus causing respiratory illness in older adults and death among the frail elderly. While vaccines to fight the disease have been approved overseas, Fusion Clinical Research is holding a trial in Adelaide to find a remedy for Australia. If you're between 60 and 85 and interested in participating, go to fusiontrials.com.au. You'll be reimbursed for your time helping Australia's elderly into the future. That's fusiontrials.com.au.
Hey you. Right now you're listening to a radio ad about DAB Plus radio on the radio. Think about it. It's like the cells inside your brain that's inside your head that's on top of your body are informing you that you can listen to this station in digital quality on a DAB Plus radio for free or on a smart speaker. Discover the auditory awesomeness of more radio within the radio. Search DAB Plus and listen now.
If you're looking for curtains, blinds or awnings, explore all the possibilities at Rundle Blinds and Curtains, Adelaide's premier window furnishings company at Kings Park. Call Rundle Blinds and Curtains or drop in to find out about incredible January special offers, including double Qantas points on the entire Luxaflex collection. Yes, double Qantas points on the entire Luxaflex collection. Don't wait, come into our Kings Park showroom. Call us on 8274 1210 or go online at rundleblinds.com.au.
Hi, Tim Ginniver here. You might know a bit about me, but let's talk about something you've probably never heard of, childhood dementia. Over 120 families are living with this condition in SA, and it takes almost as many young lives as cancer. As of today, there's no treatment and no cure. The Little Heroes Foundation wants to change that and now raises money for childhood dementia to increase awareness, support the families and to look for a cure. But they need your support. To make a donation, search Little Heroes Foundation and let's do it for dementia.
What's not to love about Unley Road? It has everything. The cafes, the restaurants, all the services you need. And what about the shopping? There are over 400 specialty shops. There's something for everyone. And right now, support local and win. If you spend $20 on Unley Road before February 17, you could win one of the many prizes up for grabs. Proudly supported by Alfred James and the Unley Road Association.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
This is the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes to 5. Where are they now with Roscoe Tanner after 5 o'clock tonight? And Port Adelaide fans, stay tuned. Ivan Soldo to join us at 5:30.
Yeah, a lot of excitement around season 24 on the back of the growth year in 23. Just missed out on the 8. Joining us, the club's lead ruckman, former BNF, Rolly O'Brien. Rob, welcome.
Thanks, guys. Sounds like it's ruck night on the show with Soldo on later.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you'll be going head-to-head with him in about 23 days' time. You're still the fittest down there? You've been happy with your off-season?
Yeah, mate, feeling really, really good. In a very good shape physically, and had my appendix out a few weeks ago, which set me back a week or two. But, and I missed the skipper's wedding, so I was in his bad books for the last couple of weeks. But all going well now, and feeling really good.
So did you get the appendix after it and assess it? Because you are a scientist, you're a doctor of note, you're a got an MBA and a BAE and a whatever.
Or did you give it to Jordan in a jar as a wedding present?
Did you find any grape seeds in that appendix, did you, Riley?
I did. Yeah, I gave it to Jordan as a wedding present. A bit of nutrients in there. He said it was delicious. So he's been flying since he had that.
I love
it. Please. Now we'll talk about the team. We'll start with you. What are you working on?
Mate, the main thing for me is getting back to my strength, which is my aerial work. So I think I haven't been my best at times. So I'm just getting back to that dominance in the air and working with the coaches as to where I can get in positions to take marks, especially behind the ball. Because I feel like that's when I'm at my best. I'm taking marks and taking a lot of intercept marks. So yeah, doing a lot of that work and feeling really good in that space, in contested marking space and intercept mark space. So that on top of a bit of working more with the mids on further working on our stoppage work and our connection stuff in there. So doing plenty of that. As a ruckman, you got to take marks and win stoppages and connect with your mids. So they're always the main two things I'm working on.
Well, that is, everyone loves your work rate, loves your effort. It's unparalleled. Up and down the ground, you're like an extra midi in there. The criticism does come with your marking, so it's great to hear that, and it is the connection with the midfielders. Who works with you on that, and how many hours a week do you work on it? And you feel it's getting better, Rob?
Yeah, mate, 100%. We do a lot of stuff. I mean, with the marking stuff, it's a lot of work with the key forwards and key backs, working with them, in tandem sort of down the line, and also, working on your craft there as well. So doing a lot of stuff with the coaches and with the key position players. And in the midfield, it's a lot of that. We have a lot of structure and a lot of things like that, and preferred hit spots. We might, want to hit to the same spot every time, which can sort of limit a little bit of that connection so we can stay predictable. But we've become a little bit more flexible in that space, and feeling really good in there in terms of being on the same page, and then also trying a few different things in there. So, feeling really good in terms of how that's shaping up. We've been into the stoppage work the last few weeks, and boys are looking good and feeling really good in that space. But definitely trying a few more things, and we've altered a few things in there to help in that and get us on top in the stoppages. Because if you can do that, you're on top of the game a lot of the time.
Hey, Rolly, I watched your presser today, and I thought, gee, you've trimmed up a bit. Is that a fact, or is it just your normal January look?
It's good. A few people have said that actually, Timmy. But I'm about the same weight, but I'm trying to stay on the slimmer side. I think I play my best footy when I'm a bit more slimmer, a bit more agile around the contest, and able to cover the ground a bit better. Probably don't want to, go into those ruckmen that, later in their career become a bit more of those heavy bruisers that don't really move around as much. I want to maintain those strengths, being able to cover the ground and be, dynamic around the contest as well. So, certainly trying to stay slim, but you have to, it's a bit of a balance. You have to stay strong enough so you can compete with the big hooers, because there's a few big absolute ogres out there. So you got to be ready for it.
Hey, when we spoke this time last year, Matty Nix gave us a little bit of an insight, what you were working on and the like. And one of the things he said, we want to get our transition from defence into the forward line quicker, and that shone out. I mean, that really shone out for me last year, and it was everything he said that you're working on came to fruition, and we saw some really great pieces of play because of it. What's probably been a focus in this pre-season and when you're doing match simulation?
Yeah, mate, there's been a couple of clear things. I think a couple of things with our front half defence, that's been a big focus, just continuing to hone in on that, and probably the mindset around our defensive work, being a really strong defensive team, because generally the top four teams are the best four defensive teams. So we're really working on that. And then also we're doing a lot of work on our late game stuff. So heaps of work on our scenario-based stuff in terms of being down by a couple of points, up by a couple of points, scenarios in there, and also the mindset work around that. Because last year we cost ourselves in about 5 or 6 games, generally against top four teams, where we just shot ourselves in the foot with a couple of close losses. So you win a few of those games, you win the majority of those games, and you're in a good spot to be in a good ladder position and making finals. So that's been a big focus as a group, on top of all the other stuff that you have to do. But they've certainly been two of the key sort of focus areas that can take us from being a good team to being a great team.
Well, Rob, you've leaned down. We're hearing Riley Thilthorpe's beefed up. Can he beat you yet in match sim?
He's a big boy, Riley. He's getting big and he moves well. He's certainly very strong, but we go head-to-head a bit, but he gets me sometimes, but still got a few tricks to play against him, so he's still getting that. So it's good.
Well done. Who's impressed you? Who's having a big pre-season? Who are you looking forward to taking another step next year? Because you're a student of that, Rob.
We've done a lot of match sim in the last couple of weeks, and Jakey Soligo has been looking unbelievable. He's been probably the pick of the bunch. He rolled his ankle today at training, but that was pretty minor, but he has been absolutely tearing it up. And then, who else? He's probably the main one. And then I think having Joshy Rochelle through the midfield, he's been really good as well. He's taken another step, I think, and he's ready to absolutely dominate. And then, probably Josh Worrell down back. I think he's showed a lot last year, but I think he's really ready to cement that spot, especially with Tommy Duday gone. He's super competitive and super good in the air, so he'll be having a good year.
Top 8, put that in the book, lock it away. That's the goal.
That's definitely the goal and the expectation. So, I mean, we'd love to be top 4, top 1. So, we'll certainly be doing that, and we'll be certainly very disappointed if we don't make top 8, especially after last year. We felt like we probably should have been there, and we probably cost ourselves. But this year, we're here to win premierships, and we definitely have the talent to do that. And we could have easily beaten all the top 4 teams last year. So, looking forward to the season getting underway and taking it right up to them and definitely making finals, and hopefully, going all the way.
Yeah, that's got me up and about.
Yeah. Hey, Riley, the road trip, what was it like for you, and were you top or bottom bunk?
Oh, no.
Good question. The road trip was good fun. I've never been down a road, actually. I've been to NSA for about 9 years. I've never been down there. So it's a beautiful part of the world. We had great weather.
Did you take a crayfish home? Or?
I ate it all before we got home, so there wasn't any left. So I couldn't help myself, sadly. But it was fantastic. I had a great time. A lot of bonding and activities down there, a bit of training. But it was awesome to get back there, and it meant a lot to Dawes as well as his hometown, so it was special for him. And I was definitely bottom bunk, so I did not even sit on the top bunk, and it was good. It was good. There's a few blokes snoring, a bit of sleep talking, so a few blokes had a couple of sleepless nights, but they've recovered now. So anyway, it was funny.
All part of getting to know each other a little bit more intimately, isn't it? Hey,
like being back on school camp, it was good.
Yeah, it would have been perfect. We heard Isaac Rankin say he wanted to spend a bit more time in the midfield. Has he done a little bit with you guys, match sim wise?
Yeah, him and Josh have been doing a bit more training in there. They've been thrown in there, the last couple of years, probably without the training around stoppage stuff, because there's a lot of subtle craft stuff that goes into it. So it's hard when you just get thrown in a game, late in games or whatever, to be able to do that well, because there's a lot that goes into it with body work and positioning. So they've done a bit more through there, and I think they'll certainly be. I think those two and Lukey Pedler will be awesome to have through the midfield now, the centre bounce with that X factor and speed and explosiveness. So they'll add a few more strings to our bow for sure.
Are we concerned, or should we be, for Rory Sloane's eye and his immediate future? Rob, have you got an update?
Yeah, I haven't spoken to him. I don't think he's able to go on his phone, so I only heard that this morning. But yeah, obviously, bloody bad news for him. But knowing the guy he is, he's a super positive guy, super hard-working. Like when he did his ACL a couple of years ago, the way he approached that with his positivity and his work ethic was unbelievable. So I'm sure he'll do the same. But yeah, it's certainly a scary thing. You don't want to mess with your eyes. So it's probably one for. I haven't spoken to him yet, so probably for him to work that out and go from there. But yeah, I'm sure he loves playing footy. He loves the club. So can't imagine he'll do anything, make any decisions very easily.
Well done. And we hear Matty Nix has re-signed.
Yeah, I've heard whispers of that. It hasn't been confirmed with us, but yeah. So I think he's doing a great job.
No.
And the boys are loving him. So it wouldn't surprise me, Rowey. So we'll wait and see.
He deserves it.
Hey, well answered. He tried to trick you.
I did too. Well, hang on. He's one of the smartest footballers. Of course he is.
Come on.
Where are you with your studies? What are you got a doctorate? What are you doing? Where are you at?
No, mate, I haven't got a doctorate. I've done my medical science bachelor's degree. I've done a master's of neuroscience, and I'm about to finish in about a couple of months my MBA and my master's of public health. So I have a few masters and another degree, and then potentially do medicine post-footy. But we'll wait and see on that one, Rory.
Amazing. We can't even spell MBA.
So you love...
Yeah, sorry?
You love the books, don't you? So, I mean, while you're playing footy, you might as well be beavering away at something.
Yeah, mate, it is good to have on the side to sort of, it's something, footy can be pretty all-consuming, to have something else and another world to go to and study. I do like, I'm a bit of a nerd, the boys get into me about it, but I do like, reading, and I like my study, and I like my politics, and I like my reading the newspaper and reading books. So I'm a bit of a nerd, but it's good. It's good to, as a sort of release from footy also, and also obviously great for post-career as well. So
there's a 5AA future right there, I reckon, Riley.
Yeah. So politics, you mentioned politics.
Yeah.
So what are you leaning?
He's the next Will Gouldings.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the Australian politics, South Australia. I follow it pretty closely, so I'm just more interested in how it operates. And yeah, no, I do follow it pretty closely. So
have you
I
watched
enjoy
a
that
show,
among other things.
Riley? Have you watched a show on the ABC called Total Control?
No, I have not.
There's
no.
one for you. iView.
Yeah,
get on it. I haven't quite finished the third season because they haven't released it onto iView just yet, but a terrific show. And I'll tell you what, talk about giving you an insight into the way politics goes. It's sensational. Watch it.
Yeah, right. I'll put that on the list, Timmy. And
Yeah,
I started watching another one called Nemesis as well, which is on the a few years ago. So watch that one. Another one for the listeners.
Where's that from? Where can I pick that up?
That is on iView as well, I believe.
Beautiful.
And it's based on the internal machinations of the Liberal Party in the 2010s, I think.
Give it a spell, you two.
I'm on it.
Tom Duday's gone to Brisbane. Riley wants a gig with our Bricky team.
He's very good. I'm loving it. This is great. Great exchange.
Rob, well done, mate. Have a great year. It starts with the ruck. We all know that. Sounds like you're going to, buddy, put your shoulder to the wheel with the team. I hope that Nixie can re-sign, and I hope we can finish in that top 8, mate. Thanks for your time.
For sure, mate. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good evening.
Cheers,
Well
Rob.
done.
See you, mate.
Thanks, Timmy. Thanks, Rowey.
I love that. I got it now. See, we just exchanged programs. I love it.
A little bit of give, a little bit of take.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's what it's about.
Love it. 12 minutes to 5. Let's check your traffic.
At Dry Creek, got a truck and motorcycle crash, Cavan Road near Churchill Road North. Another collision, this one's in the city, Flinders Street near Pulteney Street, and a breakdown slowing things up at Croydon North-South motorway near Hawker Street. Got a few delays at Bedford Park. Bucket of paint has fallen off the back of a truck there, causing all kinds of drama. Southern Expressway to Main South Road entry ramp. And we've got a camera look out for today at Lonsdale Road at Hallett Cove. Life-changing. The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery's $3.6 million grand prize at Henley Beach. Get your tickets now at homelottery.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
Australian Border Force have seized more than 13 tonnes of disposable vapes here in Adelaide. Pictures on the news last night were unbelievable.
Well, the number of people who are doing it is off the charts.
Informing Adelaide.
The latest figures out just blow your mind.
So they introduced new rules where it became illegal to import disposable single-use vapes.
Yeah, right.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
This is what it sounds like to win the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. Speechless. The $3.6 million grand prize could be your new life at Henley Beach in a fully furnished Scott Salisbury dream home. Let that sink in. homelottery.com.au. Join the fight and support life-changing medical research for all South Australians. Licence M14493.
MG has arrived in the Adelaide Hills. Be a part of history as we launch Adelaide Hills MG with stock ready to go and amazing launch offers. Discover the range of exciting new hatchbacks, sedans, SUVs and EVs, including the 2023 Car Sales Car of the Year, the MG4 Electric. See them for yourself on the road less travelled at Adelaide Hills MG. Mount Barker Road, Bridgewater, MG's new home in the hills. Head to ahmgmotors.com.au for our launch offers. LNVD 325189.
Now, South Australian summers can be brutal. Interestingly, I'm off to a golf weekend this weekend at Barmera. It's going to be 38 Saturday, 42 on Sunday.
Gee, you live the life of Riley.
Well, it's hard work, let me tell you, playing golf in those conditions. But look, you can always assume that an absolute scorcher is just around the corner. And this is a reminder to check out the deals at Costa Air. Now, they'll be very popular in Barmera, let me tell you.
I've used them. They're brilliant. You need to strap a Costa Air split system on your back. You're heading up there. Costa Air's consultants and installers, look, they're weather nerds. They have to because air conditioning is their business.
Yes.
They make the next scorcher feel like, well, a bit of a fizzer.
Yep, that's what they do. So if you're buying a new air conditioning system or just switching to a more efficient system, Costa Air's consultants and installers can show you how easy it is. So join hundreds of Adelaide households and discover how your cooling bills will cost a lot less.
I like it.
You do like
So
that.
don't wait until the hot weather hits and you're sweltering. Beat the rush. Speak to Costa Air. Now go to costaair.com.au.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. The National Tiles famous once-a-year summer spend and save is on now. Yes, the National Tiles famous once-a-year summer spend and save is on now. Spend $4,000 and we'll only charge you $2,750. Or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. This National Tiles famous annual summer spend and save is not to be missed. So rush into National Tiles now and save.
Is your bloated belly making you feel fat and miserable? Introducing new Caruso's Bloaties. Caruso's Bloaties contains peppermint and ginger, which are traditionally used in Western herbal medicine to relieve belly bloating, plus digestive enzymes to help your body digest lactose and fat. So if you're fed up with your bloated belly making you feel fat and miserable, try Caruso's Bloaties today. Caruso's Bloaties is available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
IKEA is here to turn back to the grind into time to unwind. IKEA family members can enjoy a fresh start with 20% off all mattresses. Joining is free and easy, so make it happen today with IKEA. Offer ends February 26. Terms and conditions apply.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
I mean, we'd love to be top 4, top 1, so we'll certainly be doing that, and we'll be certainly very disappointed if we don't make top 8, especially after last year we felt like we probably should have been there and we probably cost ourselves, but this year we're here to win premierships and we definitely have the talent to do that, and we could have easily beaten all the top 4 teams last year, so looking forward to the season getting underway and taking it right up to them.
Very confident Riley O'Brien before the break from the Adelaide Crows.
Well, I must admit, when I heard that, I was starting to brim.
Yeah.
And I was starting
I don't
to
mind
think,
that.
Is it too early for this?
Oh, no.
No! I can't believe it. No,
January.
Timmy! I didn't push it, Timmy did! Do not blame me!
I did not. I've never...
You're trying to frame me!
I've never met a guy who's more self-destructing
Then who?
than you.
I didn't push the button!
Unbelievable.
Now,
I'll tell you what, that's going to make people
that
angry.
will-
I'll tell you. Crows fans are going to go.
January 31.
Well, hang on, Riley.
January 31.
Hang on. Riley O'Brien went the early crow. I've just jumped on board.
He didn't just say F word in terms of finals. He said F word flag.
He just jumped straight to
If
premiership.
you haven't got confidence
I love
in
it.
yourself and in your team
I
like
love
that,
it.
that sort of language means there's a real belief system going
You
on.
like hearing it, Crows fans. Let us know.
Yeah. Now, we're talking about growth years. Now, we've just had Riley O'Brien on. We're going to get Ivan Soldo on tonight. And a lot rests in their palms, literally. Okay. Always have had a theory, and it hasn't been proven to be correct or incorrect. It's always just a gut feel thing. But a dominant ruck with elite ruck craft, who's elite in the centre square, and has to be elite in the centre square and around the ground, I think is worth 2 goals a quarter or 8 goals a game. Now, stoppage goals are important, and they say if you get around 10 to 12, you're doing well. And if it's on the back of a ruckman, not often an opposition can shark it and score from a losing ruck tap. You can, and they're elite. But you name another position that's more influential than a ruckman, a dominant ruckman, than my theory of 2 goals a game. Now, a defender can save a couple, couldn't he? A forward can kick 8 in a game on the odd occasion, a small forward 3 or 4. Is it the collective or am I putting too much emphasis on a ruckman? That's how important I think they are.
I think they're a bonus if you've got a dominant one. I think they're a bonus. But other teams have beaten teams with 2 good ruckmen because they are able to do exactly what you just said and set up around that.
Yep.
Collingwood did it when they lost Grundy.
Yep.
And basically they didn't have the dominant ruckman, but they were able to win clearance.
See, my theory to that is, imagine if they did.
Well, I
put Gawn in that team, they would have won the flag by length and straight.
Collingwood won a flag without Grundy. They didn't win one with Grundy. So that's the difference.
Okay.
So it's an okay theory. I think we'd prefer to have a dominant one than not.
Correct.
But
Well,
Collingwood,
you went out and got 2 and sacked 3.
Collingwood did it without it.
Yeah. Hello, Steve.
Hi. With respect to Can You Feel It, can you destroy it? Every time you play it.
Steve, I didn't play
it. I'm sorry. With the Crows, who had a shocking year last year with the, particularly with the umpiring, a minimum of 3 games they should have won if it wasn't for the umpiring. Right at the end.
Yep.
But, with respect to ruckman, every team must have a good dominant ruckman. Premiership teams have good ruckman in there. But one other thing that they all have is a player with an X factor who does something unexpected.
Spot on. It's the collective, Steve. Well done. And I did not play that. It's not on me.
Not on
Why are
you.
you smirking?
You're not taking
You're a
responsibility.
Now we had a text and we had a conversation about our Indigenous brothers in the game.
Now. Yes.
And Brownlow medalists, and you said no, Rowey, it's Norm Smith's. Run through them.
Yeah, well, I said Norm Smith's, and also what we're going to do some homework on is to find out how many Indigenous players have played since it's been, in quotation marks, AFL.
Yep.
And just see how many have actually played in a premiership, because that's, for me...
That's the ultimate goal.
It is. And it's actually helping your team to win, which we know so many have done. So... Norm Smith medalist, Maurice Rowey, 1982, and that was in a losing side.
It was.
They lost to Carlton.
For Richmond.
So he was for Richmond. Of course, in 1992, you had Peter Matera.
Yep.
Of course,
Play with him.
West Coast, absolutely blitzed them, didn't he, that year? Michael Long in 93, what a performance that was. Of course, Andy McLeod, we mentioned 97, 98. Choppy Pickett in 04. Could have been Peter Burgoyne as well. He played very well, and Gavin Wanganeen played well, and so did Sean. So what an outfit that was. Cyril Rioli, of course, in 2015. And Bobby Hill last year, of course, for Collingwood. Took the Norm Smith medal out. So what a list that is.
That is overrepresented. There's no such thing as overrepresented. They start.
Can play on the big stage.
Make our game. Well
absolutely. 2 minutes to 5. We've got the news coming up, and where are they now? With Roscoe Tanner next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Wow, we're actually moving. Come on. Sure we can get more than 2 of us through the lights. Hello, we're doing like 50 in a 60 zone. Come on, mate. Oh, and then you're going to brake. Excellent. What is taking so long? Come on. Move, woman. It's green. Move. Come on.
Beat the heat. Keep cool with Fix Now, Pay Later options available. Book now. For great service guaranteed, call 1300 Automasters.
Mawson Lakes Mazda's 2023 plate clearance sale is on now. Discover amazing deals across the entire range, including free on-road costs on all cars. That's right, free on-road costs across the entire Mazda range. Hurry in to find your perfect model and colour. The sooner you get to the showroom, the better your chance of scoring your dream car. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city, Salisbury Highway.
Hi, I'm Peter Berkowitz from Berkowitz Furniture. Our summer stock clearance sale is on now, and you'll save up to 40%. Save on our comfortable leather and fabric sofas, sofa beds, recliners, dining tables, dining chairs, including our Australian-made collection. Be part of our massive summer stock clearance sale and save up to 40%. But hurry, sale ends soon. At Berkowitz, we're not just a furniture store, we're a furniture family. Mile End Homemaker Centre and online.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Sunny tomorrow, 28 the top. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm David Bruce.
Berkowitz summer sale ends soon. Up to 40% off sofas, tables, recliners and more. Online, in-store at Berkowitz Mile End.
The opposition says the federal government shouldn't be popping the champagne corks on the back of lower inflation figures. Consumer prices grew 4.1% for the year to December, but that's a reduction on the previous reading in September. Food and drink prices have come down. However, the cost of housing, rent and insurance remains high. Shadow Treasurer Angus Taylor says most households are feeling the pinch.
We've seen an $8,000 reduction in the standard of living of a typical Australian family in the last 18 months. This is absolutely unprecedented, and there's no sign of that reversing. In the absence of that reversing, Australians are going to continue to feel the pain.
New data shows wholesale electricity costs have fallen by around 50%, meaning relief from soaring power bills could be in sight. Some retailers are offering lower prices, but the full extent of the shift will take time to flow to households. The fall has been driven by government rebates, more stable coal supply, and extra renewables coming online. Extra federal funding is being planned for public schools across the country. The Commonwealth has struck a major agreement with the Western Australian government to fully fund the state schools. Labor is hoping to ink similar deals with other states and territories. Federal Education Minister Jason Clare says the money will be used to help vulnerable children.
Only about 20% of kids who are, when they're little, when they're about 8 years old, who are behind the minimum standard, only about 20% of those kids ever catch up by the time they're in high school. So we want to use this money to make sure that we identify the kids who fall behind early and we intervene early to help them.
The number of adults who vape continues to rise despite a crackdown by the federal government. Max White has details.
More than 90,000 Australians have taken up the habit over the past 3 months, taking the total number of adult vapers above 1.7 million. The new survey from Roy Morgan shows the black market for nicotine vapes is continuing to boom, with around 90% of respondents buying the products illegally. From March, adults who seek to vape will need a prescription from a doctor, but industry groups say users will be unable to afford the cost of seeing a GP.
Perth is currently in the grip of a heatwave and is often the case. It could be heading our way. Some Perth suburbs have already exceeded 40 degrees as the state swelters. The scorching conditions are expected to last for the next few days. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Save dollars and evaporation. Get your pool a Walco solar blankie for summer. Walco.com.au.
Australian batsman Steve Smith is taking confidence from his breakthrough knock as a test opener. The veteran made an unbeaten 91 as Australia lost to the West Indies in Brisbane on Sunday. Smith says he ignored the criticism over the past 2 weeks.
There was a lot of commentary around I'd failed in 2 or 3 innings or whatever it was. I had a not out and 2 low scores, and I think I'm averaging 60 as an opener. So, I didn't really read too much into it. It was just another position. I battled against a new ball numerous times, coming in early.
And Hawthorn has welcomed back a 4-time premiership player to fill a newly created off-field role. Jared Roughhead joins the Hawks as player acquisition manager after 4 years with the Saints. Now checking 5AA traffic.
We've got you covered for shade this summer. Visit the Outdoor Scene's new location, Wilton Avenue, Somerton Park.
At Dry Creek, look out for a truck and motorcycle crash. Cavan Road near Churchill Road North. Heavy delays back to Port Wakefield Road and Grange Junction Road. In the city, a crash, Flinders Street near Poultney Street, and got a breakdown at Croydon at the moment, north-south motorway near Hawker Street. Quite busy, Tapley's Hill Road at Glenelg North with cameras the Savo, Kester's Road, Para Hills West, and Kings Road at Paralawi. OTR has all your entertaining needs covered this summer. Ice, gas, drinks and snacks, all available 24/7. OTR, making life easy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the latest forecast, sunny, a top of 28 tomorrow, after getting down to 14 overnight. Cloud clearing on Friday, a top of 29. And sunny and warm for the weekend, 33 on Saturday, 35 on Sunday. Currently 23. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, Crow star Rory Sloane's footy future uncertain as he has surgery for a detached retina in his eye for a second time. We expose an Adelaide online scam, how not to get ripped off. Inflation at a 2-year low, how soon mortgage holders could see a rate cut. And does bundling your bills actually save you money? Our special report. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Hey you. Right now you're listening to a radio ad about DAB Plus radio on the radio. Think about it. It's like the cells inside your brain that's inside your head that's on top of your body are informing you that you can listen to this station in digital quality on a DAB Plus radio for free or on a smart speaker. Discover the auditory awesomeness of more radio within the radio. Search DAB Plus and listen now.
Follow the lights with Hertie Gruten and Phil Hoffman Travel. Experience the most beautiful coastline in the world on a Norwegian coastal cruise with Hertie Gruten in 2024 and 2025. Whether it's following the northern lights or chasing the midnight sun, there's something for everyone. Book now to save up to $1,500 per couple and receive 600 Norwegian kroner when you join the Platinum Cruise Club. Offer ends 31st of March. Contact Phil Hoffman Travel. Visit pht.com.au.
What is taking so long? Come on! Move, woman! It's green! Move!
Keep your cool in traffic with ice cold aircon from Automasters. Fix now, pay later options available. Call 1300 Automasters.
Here at FIVEAA, we're all about supporting local. Spend a night at Fawlty Towers with the world's worst hotelier, Basil Fawlty. Don't miss Fawlty Towers, the dining experience. Book now at fringetix.com.au. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
7 minutes after 5 here on this Wednesday afternoon. Coming up on the show this hour, Port Adelaide's new ruckman Ivan Soldo to join us. Still got a 36ers family pass to give away to this Friday night's game against Sydney Kings. And more of your calls, 8223 0000 is the number. But it's time now for a special Where Are They Now? Get a Walco blankie for your pool this summer and save water, evaporation and money. Walco.com.au. Earlier today, Timmy caught up with our next guest over Zoom.
The 5AA Sports Show's Where Are They Now? Past legends, past glories.
Well, we're going to jump into the DeLorean, travel back to the 70s with a man with a huge serve, the US champ, Roscoe Tanner. G'day, mate.
Thank you. It's so great to be talking to you guys. I love it down in Australia. It's just so far away. I don't get to go there hardly at all.
Well, one of the great things in your career is that you won the Australian Open. I mean, that must sit with you nicely as far as Aussies go.
Well, I love it. I mean, and also I got along with the Aussie players. I mean, we were like the Americans and the Australians traveled the world together. We were buddies. We had a lot of different contests, and I won't talk about those too much. But we had some contests in the evenings. But playing down there, the people were so nice and so friendly. I loved it. I just the hard part about it was always over Christmas, and it's 9 million miles away. But, I mean, I loved it down there. I loved it in Sydney, and I loved it in Melbourne, and that's where I played most of the time. I played a couple times in Perth, but I really enjoyed it down there. Everybody was so nice and so friendly.
Who were some of the names that you hung around Aussie-wise in that era?
Well, I mean, John Newcomb. I played against Laver and Rosewall, Stolley, Emerson. My doubles partner at that time was Arthur Ashe. And as a result, by playing with him, I got to be friends with a lot of the older Australian guys because we practiced together. We didn't have a team that traveled with us. We had ourselves and our doubles partner. And so it was a result. That's where we practiced, is with the other guys. And we would go out on the court and try to beat each other's brains out. Afterward, take a shower and go eat dinner and have a few beers together. So it was a great time in tennis.
Yeah, good. You spoke about Rod Laver. Of course, for a lot of younger people, they see the Rod Laver arena and sometimes Rockets in the crowd. But what was he like to play against?
Well, essentially it was hell. Because he could do anything he wanted to with a tennis ball. They talk about that he didn't hit the ball as hard as some of these guys today. But the thing was, he could have hit it harder if he wanted to. I mean, his left forearm was the same size as Rocky Marciano, the heavyweight boxing champion. So here he is, 5'8", and he's got this arm that's over here that doesn't match up. He could hit it as hard as he wanted to, but back then the balls were lighter, and they had some rubber in there that responded more. And so as a result, if you hit it really hard, it would fly out. So you would choose to hit it softer till you had the right shot. These guys today, they might as well just swing full speed at every ball because it won't go long. Nadal couldn't have played the way he currently plays in the old days. Wow. But Laver is a guy, we used to call him Snow Crab, because his arm walking around over there was like huge. and his other arm was just a little thing hanging off there. All it did was toss the ball up so he could serve. But what a great guy and a gentleman of the game, and to get to hang around with he and Ken Rosewall and practice with them occasionally and get some tips from them was just, I mean, an unbelievable blessing for me.
You mentioned about the balls being different, but gee whiz, the rackets were different. I mean, what was your racket of choice in that era? And, you know, especially those early days of the wooden rackets.
Yeah, when I played, and when I was playing in college and all through the juniors, it was a wooden racket. But then right after I turned pro, it was the onslaught of metal rackets.
Yeah.
I mean, Connors had a steel one. Mine happened to be what they called extruded aluminum. And so it was very similar to some head rackets, but it was called PDP, Professionally Designed Products. It was an aluminum racket with a new shaped head, and it had shoulders on it that were similar to the rackets of today. But the head, I mean, I've looked at a couple of rackets I used to play with, and I was going, how the heck did I do that? Well, that's what we played with. But the thing is, the sweet spot on the racket is still in the same spot as the rackets of today. The rackets of today, the big difference that I see, because I've been working with the USTA in their analytics department and watching a lot of the matches closely, the big thing is back then, the players did a lot more of getting their weight into the ball. So they'd get in position and they'd transfer forward into the shot, and that would give them power. The players of today swing like crazy, but they don't move forward, so it's all arm and racket. And I think if they would spend a little time doing what we used to do and add their weight behind it, it would go even harder, which is kind of a scary concept.
Well, in saying that, you've been sort of recorded around about of serving 140 mile an hour. That's about 224k in our language. Back then, I would hate to see what serve had with one of these rackets in your peak. You probably would have hit 300k.
Yeah, I served my fastest ever. I was in the 140s a lot, but the 153 was my fastest. The big thing was that was with the faster balls, so I don't know how that translates. I know that recently they had Mark Philippoussis serve within the last, say, 6 or 7 years. They had him serve with an old racket and with a current racket, and he was within 2 miles of each other. Wow. So I think part of it is how much are you able to generate racket head speed? So I think that ends up being the same. And one of the things, too, about rackets with a smaller head move through the air faster because there's less resistance. We did studies at PDP, and we showed if the head was bigger and more strings, it was a little bit like a sail on a sailboat. It would slow the racket down. You couldn't get it through faster. So a little head was quicker.
Let's go back to some of the names. Now, you defeated Vilas in the Australian Open final. We heard some of those Aussie names, but you played against them with guys like Arthur Ashe. Geez, I've seen him talk. What a gentleman he is. And maybe a guy that I'd probably like to know, they reckon he was probably the greatest off-court performer, Vitas Gerulaitis. They reckon he was good to go out.
Yes, he was the greatest off-court performer. You called that perfect. I've never heard that described that way, but that is correct. But what a great guy. And actually, when he and I were playing on the Connors Tour, the senior 35 and over tour at the time, we were playing together, and we were playing in a tournament in Seattle, and we played doubles on Saturday afternoon, and we lost. His back was hurting. And we told him, stay in Seattle with us. We got trainers and all that stuff to help you. And he said, no, I want to fly back to New York. So that night he flew back to New York, and that's when he went to his friend's place, and he took a nap and died.
Wow.
So I played I played with him the last match he ever played. But what a great guy, and he was just so fun-loving and just nice, you know. And he was a great competitor, but he was just fun to be around.
In those eras, the Davis Cup, it was fought, fiercely, wasn't it, by all the countries, and of course Australia and US would have some great battles. What are your fond memories of Davis Cup?
Well, it was basically Australia and US.
Yeah,
we were the best. and they knew it, and we knew it, and we knew that somewhere at the end of the year it was going to come up. And I'll never forget, we were playing against, one year in 1981, we won, but we played Australia in the semifinals in Portland, Oregon, and Arthur Ashe was the captain, which was formerly my doubles partner, and I'm playing Peter McNamara. McEnroe had beaten Mark Edmondson in the first match, but I'm playing McNamara. I was ranked 4 in the world, and he was ranked 5.
Yeah.
And that was, I had won the first 2 sets and was really playing well. And then, sure enough, in the third set, I had break points all the way through. I had chances to go ahead and win, and he won the third. Fourth set, I had break points all the way through, but then he won the fourth set. Fifth set, he gets ahead. He breaks my serve in the second game to go ahead 2-love. Arthur sits me down and says, Roscoe, look, you're trying too hard. You're being too careful. He said, I want you to start going for the lines with every shot. And I beat him 6-2. So that's a fond memory for me. But playing against Australia was always unbelievable. I remember one year I was an orange slicer for the team, and we played Australia in Cleveland. And we played against Newcomb, Laver. I mean, I think they beat us 5-0. I mean, they were just, it was the best of the best when we played against each other.
Talking about the best of the best, that 1979 Wimbledon final against Bjorn Borg, who was in his streak of Wimbledon wins, that's one of the best 5-setter, just amazing. And as a kid growing up, we used to stay up late and you know, try and get through it and watch the whole thing. And I just couldn't believe how many of those Wimbledon finals that he played were always 5-setters, but they were absolute titanic battles. You got fond memories of that, and were you and Bjorn close?
Well, at that time, he wasn't close, I don't think, with anybody, because he used to be kind of aloof and he practiced away, and so he wasn't really friends with anybody. Later on, we became friends. On the senior tour, you know, everything's much more relaxed. Yeah. But playing against him, I played against him the first year he won Wimbledon also. I played him in the semifinals and lost. So I was coming into this match. I had beaten him earlier in Philadelphia, so I thought I had a chance. And we had a game plan that we thought worked. And really, it came down to, in the fifth set, I had a chance to break his serve to get up ahead, and I missed it by an inch on a passing shot. And so the way I look at it, I lost that match, but I don't feel bad about it. I mean, I lost to the guy who won Wimbledon 5 times in a row. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't have bad memories. I have good memories of that match. I just wish I'd like to change one point.
Now, your era, playing between 1972 and 85, there were a lot of changes. And one I recall was that the tennis balls used to be white, but they changed to green. And I think that was for TV.
Yeah, because what happens is on the TV, maybe you could now see it, but back then you couldn't see the ball. Yeah. And so they had to figure out something to find an optic color that would show up on the TV screen. Gotcha. And so they got that done, and that's how that happened. And then they started bringing in color. They didn't at Wimbledon, but everywhere else, they're bringing in color clothes. You know, and we had to all match and all that sort of stuff. And I'll never forget, Arthur and I are playing together. And on the WCT tour, they said, you know, when you guys play doubles, you have to match. Exactly. And I was playing with Dakini, and Arthur was playing with, I forget which one it was. But anyway, his die lot was different than mine, so we didn't match. Yeah. And so they were going to find us every match. And we go, look, I mean, Arthur and I just are not going to match. And we started laughing about it, you know, because for other reasons besides just that. And so Dakini said, listen, I'll let you go ahead and wear what Arthur's endorsing for doubles on WCT, so you don't have to pay fines everywhere. So that we did that, but they wanted everybody to look alike. And I'm noticing now on the tour, they don't worry about that so much. Yeah. But they were very concerned back then that a team looked like a team. Now they wear whatever they want to, whatever they're getting $100 million from.
Well, I was thinking about the era you played in early. There was guys you would play against, like Ken Rosewell, absolute gentleman.
Yes.
You then come up against guys like Jimmy Connors, who was pretty fiery. You had Ili Nastasi, who was really fiery.
And then this kid comes along, late 70s, early 80s, John McEnroe. How did you perform against characters like that?
Well, I mean, I played against Jimmy since I was 10 years old. So I knew about him. Yeah. Nastasi is a different breed of cat. But one thing that when I was in the juniors, one of the other players in the juniors, his father was a psychologist. And he said to me, Roscoe, remember this, when they start pulling all that stuff, that means that you're playing so well they don't think they can beat you without doing that. So generally when they started pulling it, I started feeling better. I said, I think I got them. So that it was a way of mentally turning it around and not getting upset by it. So I ended up having a reasonable record against those guys. I mean, they're great players, so you don't come up with huge winning records, but you do come up with some wins.
And who do you like watching play tennis these days?
Well, I loved watching Kyrgios. I thought that he was fantastic. And I know he's had injury problems all different times and different things, but I mean, the things that he can do with the tennis ball, he's a magician.
Yeah.
My favorite player of all time is Rod Laver. I mean, I think that he could beat you staying back, he could beat you coming in, and it was his choice. So, and the most recent player that can do that was Federer. He could do that too. All the rest of the players have to beat you a certain way. McEnroe had to come in. Nadal has to stay back.
Yeah.
So all those guys are different. Now, Djokovic can do a lot of different things, but he plays the same way all the time. Federer, he might serve a volley and he might stay back. It doesn't matter. When he was at the top, he beat you his way.
Yeah.
So that's where I think the two best players I've ever seen are Federer and Laver.
Yeah, wow. Fantastic, Chan. I really appreciate it. I wish we had more time. And I'm glad that you're doing well and still coaching young people to get up there. Great game of tennis.
Well, it's fun. It's so much fun to see young people or old people. I coach a ladies team that's elderly, and to see them do something for the first time, it's fun.
Roscoe Tanner, our guest.
How amazing is that, Tim? Well done earlier today with that one. That is a really special one. Preserve your summer of mucking about in the pool and get a Walco blankie. You'll save water evaporation and money too. Get your pool a Walco blankie today. Enjoy the savings. Visit walco.com.au. Get your thoughts on the other side of the break. It's 23 after 5. Let's check your roads.
Breakdown to look out for today at Vale Park, North East Road near Ascot Avenue. Trinity Gardens, a crash there, McGill Road near Portrush Road, and Dry Creek Truck v Motorcycle, Cavan Road near Churchill Road North. Heavy delays back to Port Wakefield Road and Grand Junction Road. Busy at the moment, Tapley's Hill Road at Glenelg North with cameras Barramundi Drive, Hallett Cove, and Cherry Gardens Road at Cherry Gardens. Mercedes is on now with savings on demonstrators and 3 years complimentary scheduled servicing. Visit your local Mercedes-Benz retailer today. Terms and conditions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA News has always been Adelaide's most trusted source of news and information for the people of South Australia. And in 2024, we're taking news to the next level. Joining the Adelaide newsroom are two of the most respected and credentialed news people in South Australia, Graham Goodings and Jess Adamson. Get the absolute latest on what's happening in your city every morning with the names you can trust. Graham Goodings and Jess Adamson, part of 5AA's award-winning news team in 2024.
The Man from Snowy River in concert is coming to Adelaide Festival Centre. Join Sigrid Thornton, Tom Burlinson and the 54-piece Southern Cross Symphony live, playing the award-winning score with this timeless Australian classic projected on the big screen. A third performance now on sale for Saturday, March 23 at 7 p.m. with excellent new seats available. Book now at Ticketek.
Hi, I'm Peter Berkowitz from Berkowitz Furniture. Our summer stock clearance sale is on now, and you'll save up to 40%. Save on our comfortable leather and fabric sofas, sofa beds, recliners, dining tables, dining chairs, including our Australian-made collection. Be part of our massive summer stock clearance sale and save up to 40%. But hurry, sale ends soon. At Berkowitz, we're not just a furniture store, we're a furniture family. Mile End Homemaker Centre and online.
40 million is big. Keno Go's jackpot is now a whopping $40 million. Download the Keno Go app now. Gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-858-858.
What's not to love about Unley Road? It has everything. The cafes, the restaurants, all the services you need. And what about the shopping? There are over 400 specialty shops. There's something for everyone. And right now, support local and win. If you spend $20 on Unley Road before February 17, you could win one of the many prizes up for grabs. Proudly supported by Unley Shopping Centre and the Unley Road Association.
If you've been holding off on a roof restoration, get in touch with Focus Home Improvements. We use SA's finest tradespeople, which just happens to be our tradespeople. We only use Australian quality materials, and believe me, you'll appreciate it years from now. Plus, as a bonus, we'll throw in up to 40 metres of free gutter guard. Up to 40 metres! New roof? Now's the time. Organise a free quote. Visit focushomeimprovements.com.au.
It's time to take a closer look at a Peugeot with drive-away offers on new and demo SUVs. Like the Peugeot 3008 GT SUV from an alluring drive-away price. With an elevated driving position and the latest safety features, this mid-size SUV epitomises style and comfort. Take advantage of new and demo SUVs available for prompt delivery while stocks last. T's and C's apply. Head to Peugeot.com.au or visit your local Peugeot dealer today.
Stick with your industry super fund in retirement and your money could go further. Visit compareyourretirement.com today.
Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance. Consider the fund's PDS and whether the product is right for you.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
This is the 5AA Sports Show.
27 minutes after 5. Very shortly, Port fans, Ivan Soldo to join us just after the 5:30 headlines. And if you want to head along to the Adelaide 36ers, we've got a family pass to this Friday's game against the Sydney Kings, and we'll be there with the show on Friday at the Int Centre. 8223 0055 is the number to call. Call in now.
Yeah, Unique Home Style Food Tech's got a number of these. Great chat, Timmy G, with Roscoe Tanner. Timmy, great interview. And Kerry's another one. Hello, Kerry.
Hi, how you going, guys?
Hey, good, Kerry.
Good. Timmy, just want to say awesome interview. Roscoe Tanner was my all-time favourite player growing up and still love him and that. And both my brothers actually rang me up and said, Gary, turn on to 5AA. Roscoe Tanner's going to be on. I think awesome.
Wow.
And but my second son, his middle name is Tanner.
Really?
Named after Roscoe, yeah.
Wow, Kerry, he was a great player in his era, wasn't he? Great to
It was
watch.
fantastic. When he played in Adelaide, I was actually one of the ball kids there, and I was, as a kid, I loved him and that. And I went up to him afterwards, and I said, "Oh, could I have your sweatband?" And he said, "Yeah, no worries." So he gave me his sweatband, and
awesome.
yeah, so it was pretty awesome. So,
Still got it?
Yeah, good memories.
Still
yeah,
got it?
I have. Funny story, my brothers and my mum and dad give me a hard time. When I got home, I actually washed it in the sink and kept a little bit of the water because I thought that's got his sweat in it.
Oh, Kerry. Oh, Kerry. Don't admit that.
It was still wet from all the sweat. So there you go. I'm 60-year-old now, and that was a bit of a good memory anyway.
What year would that have been, Kerry, that he was in Adelaide playing?
Look, I was probably about 14, I guess. So, yeah. I'm 60 now, so however long ago that was.
77 when he won the Australian Open.
Probably that,
Yeah. Could have been,
Great
so,
story,
yeah.
Kerry.
Great
I'll give you a
story,
$50 Powers voucher.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Thanks for that.
Well
Kerry.
done.
Really appreciate
I
it.
may need to stay out of more interviews. now, to paint the picture, I'm home with Rory. You're home with your
Yeah, I
house.
dropped the
You've
kids
got a
off,
WhatsApp.
yep,
I've got
that's
a
right.
WhatsApp. We had a technical glitch.
Yes.
I could see you all, and I
Yeah.
could see the interview. Because he's sitting in Florida, I'm wherever
But
I am.
we couldn't get your
My
volume.
audio
Yeah, your
just
audio.
couldn't work through the kit I had. So, I would have gone where you probably didn't need to, because he's been locked up a couple of times. He's written checks he couldn't cash.
Which
a little
I
bit of
didn't-
bouncy.
I didn't know the story about the yacht. That you told.
Well, he did. He got locked up in Germany because he wanted to buy this yacht in Florida.
Right.
Anyway, they locked him up for 6 months, and he had to get extradited, and all. There was a lot of things that went with it. And in the end, he said, "I don't even know why. I don't even like sailing, and I don't like yachts." So it must have been a troubled part. But he's written his autobiography, which I've written transcripts of, and he's quite happy to talk about it because he wants to help people. And I would have gone there right at the end. And so you're still writing checks you can't cash, a little bit of bouncy.
Bit of Jordan Belfort. Yeah.
But he came across, look, he's learnt from his mistakes. Like Ripper bloke.
Ripper bloke. Absolutely. Had
He
that
dropped
much time.
Dennis Lilly stories.
When we were trying to set
Tomo
it up, he
and-
said he met
yeah.
Lily and Tomo, and he said they told me that they like to hurt the Englishman.
That's what he said.
And that they did.
A unique home style food text. Yes, Rowey, you're right. Get rid of your WhatsApp.
Oh.
I mean, good on you.
29 minutes to 6. Let's get to the headlines. Ivan Soldo next.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
David Bruce with the latest news headlines. The latest data shows inflation has come down to 4.1% for the year to December, which should be enough to prevent another interest rate rise. US President Joe Biden has vowed to hit back at Iranian-backed militants who've claimed responsibility for a drone attack on an American base in Jordan, which killed 3 soldiers. Australian scientists are working on freezing the cells of 100 different animals that could help bring back animals that become extinct. And it's Australian cricket's big night, with the Best and Fairest Awards to be handed out in Melbourne. Now checking 5AA traffic.
We've got you covered for shade this summer. Visit the Outdoor Scene's new location, Wilton Avenue, Somerton Park.
G'day there. There's a breakdown to look out for at Vale Park for the drive home, North East Road near Ascot Avenue, a crash at Trinity Gardens, McGill Road near Portrush Road, and a truck and motorcycle crash at Dry Creek, Cavan Road near Churchill Road North with heavy delays there. You find some works at Seaton, slowing things up at the moment, Tapley's Road near Grange Road, and got a camera Salisbury Highway at Dry Creek. Deal or No Deal is giving away life-changing cash every night this week. Don't miss Deal or No Deal, 6 p.m. tonight on 10 and 10 Play. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The latest forecast, sunny tomorrow, a top of 28. Currently it's 24. More news at 6. And as it happens on 5AA.
5AA Breakfast.
The entire world at the moment is warily awaiting the US response to 3 soldiers being killed in Jordan near the Syrian border, and there will be a response from the United States. Tehran in Iran said if you attack anything on Iranian soil, that is a declaration of war.
Informing Adelaide.
Is Iran a nuclear power? Iran is a nuclear power, yeah.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
Introducing the all-electric 7-seat Kia EV9. Silence never felt so loud. Visit kia.com.au to find out more.
Kia, movement that inspires. Follow the lights with Hertie Gruten and Phil Hoffman Travel. Experience the most beautiful coastline in the world on a Norwegian coastal cruise with Hertie Gruten in 2024 and 2025. Whether it's following the Northern Lights or chasing the midnight sun, there's something for everyone. Book now to save up to $1,500 per couple and receive 600 Norwegian kroner when you join the Platinum Cruise Club. Offer ends 31st of March. Contact Phil Hoffman Travel. Visit pht.com.au.
There's nothing better than holidays with the family, but sometimes it seems like an eternity to get there. Car Trip Trivia is the perfect road trip circuit breaker. Join me, Stephen Cray, for a family-friendly trivia podcast with something for everyone, whether you're 7 or 77. There's a huge back catalogue and more than 4,000 questions and answers covering geography, science, music, movies, and of course, the Friday Funny. Let's get this show on the road. Download Car Trip Trivia on the Smooth Player app or wherever you get your podcasts.
When you die, who gets what? Will your kids or relatives argue over your estate? Will your beneficiaries be protected? Will your estate be tax effective? Will your wishes be respected and carried out? Speak with Donlan Lawyers now for peace of mind. Donlan Lawyers for wills and estate planning. Visit donlanlawyers.com. That's donlanlawyers.com.
NRG Solar have moved to a new location. It's bigger and better, and their new warehouse is fully stocked with wholesale solar and battery equipment. So, if you're looking to save money on electricity and help our environment, don't wait. Visit NRG Solar at their new office on South Road, St Mary's, where every 3 customers refer someone they know, which means they must be doing something right. Call into NRG Solar at their new premises, 1275 South Road, or visit nrgsolar.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes to 6. Get involved in the show, 8223 0000. The lines are open. Still a $50 Pals voucher to give away. Lots of footy to talk about as we build up to 2024.
Absolutely. Well, Port Adelaide, they needed to fill a few gaps, and this one was a very important one. It was the position of ruck. And from Richmond, they got premiership player Ivan Soldo. Welcome, Ivan. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Excellent, my friend. Well, welcome to Alberton. And first of all, how have you found your new surroundings?
The facility actually recently just got an upgrade, so it felt very fresh. Yeah, the club's looking really good, really. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the time there so far.
Now, did you have any thoughts of finding a new club prior to trade week, or was it just something that popped up?
I think it's probably a conversation I had maybe in the past 2 years, at the end of every year with my management and even the club, just seeing where my football could be going and where the best place for my career would be, and finally settled and made the decision to come over to Port Adelaide, which has been good so far.
Yeah, you said you had a conversation with Kenny. What does the club want you to add to the group?
That's a good question. I think it's more just the things I can bring to the group that they might have seen throughout my career, and possibly some success experience coming from Richmond as well. So hopefully there's a few things I can add, but there's not really anything I can really pinpoint at this point in time.
Has Ken picked your brain? I mean, you're a premiership player. You had a midfield that was just elite, Ivan.
Yeah, most coaches have picked my brains, which has been kind of nice to experience, because I guess I have some hidden experience and hidden knowledge that the coaches can all benefit from. So it's exciting that the club's willing to try and learn some stuff off me, and I'm willing to learn some stuff off the club as well, because coming off last year, Port Adelaide had a really successful offensive year. So I'm excited to see how we can progress and develop and do it again this year, and hopefully get to a point where we're confident in finals.
Well, IP's a two-way street. What are the differences between Ken Hinkley or Damien Hardwick, or is there a lot of likeness?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I've had Zimmer for 10 years, so you get to really know someone after a couple of years. Whereas Kenny's been a nice fresh start, which has been good, and he's a massive family man, which I love to hear and love to see, and I've immediately got a liking to him, and
good.
I can't wait to play for him for the next couple of years.
Who are you playing round two?
Yes, that'll be, it's a Sunday in Melbourne, I think.
Richmond,
so.
and you got him at the MCG round 19 as well.
Yeah, right, double up. That's good. That's usually the way, actually. I feel as if Port and Richmond always play each other twice a year.
Good stuff. Hey, Richmond have been a finals performer. We know they won 3 out of 4. Is that something perhaps you might be able to help Port with come that September action?
Definitely, and even the other blokes that have been brought into the team, I'm sure Jordan would have seen the way Bulldogs did things. Asava with Geelong as well, he would have seen the way they did things, and that's a good way. And even Zerk Thatcher coming in, Essendon have a unique way of playing as well. So there's a possibility we can all add a little string to the Port Adelaide bow, and we're willing to help out. And success really just comes off the back of team effort. So that's something that Port Adelaide already have, and can't wait to play with them for years to come.
You had some finger surgery post-season. You had to get that redone. You mentioned something about the fusion on that. How's that recovering? And are you on the track? And are you in a pink hat, or are you out of that?
Yeah, the pink hat, it's pretty funny. Usually, I think back in the old days, it was a red bib, but yeah, the pink hat. So you stand out when everyone's wearing black and white.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a bit annoying, though, especially when your whole body's feeling good, but it's just a little pinky that's holding you back. But yeah, it's just a little complication that happened, and my fusion didn't work initially, though. And then the medical team decided the best thing to do was to go in and try something different, and it's come up really well. So
great.
Can't wait to put that behind me and actually get out there and not even think about it, which is something that every footballer probably experiences coming back from surgery.
So with a hand injury, you would have had to do other things. Head of high performance, Stewie Graham, what's he had you doing?
he's made sure that I haven't, even though I haven't been able to, compete in the air, he's actually done a really good job of making sure that my legs are still good, and I can still do the agility stuff or the change of direction, and that's always the hard work that any football club and any high performance lots to see their players do. So he's taking a lot of care with and making sure I'm being introduced into the drills appropriately and not trying to rush it, because the worst thing we can really do is rush me back and then something like this happens again. So yeah, I'm really happy with the progress.
Ivan, if that fusion doesn't work, you know what's next. They've got to cut it off.
Yeah, the guys get the bolt cutters out and just snap it off.
Hey?
I like it.
Now, you know what a flag and a premiership window looks like? A port in one?
I think the media and all that stuff really see the progression and stuff. But from what I can see internally, I think the club's in a really good spot as well. There's some young talent. There's some mature players. There's a lot of experience as well, and the coaching staff around it are doing everything they can to make sure that we become the best players we can be. And from what I've seen doing that, the results look after themselves.
Well done. Now, you got some stiff opposition in ruck for that first ruck spot. You've come over here to be numero uno. How are the other boys going? I like Dante Vicentini, young lad. So you've got a few there to ruck up against.
There's definitely things we can all teach each other as well. Dante's a very competitive young player, and he's got a long career ahead of him already, I can see. And Sweetie, came off the back of a really good VFL year. Unfortunately, didn't get that much AFL time, but he's the right age to start playing some AFL footy. And Port Adelaide, when they were trading players, they think the best thing for them to do was to get some 2 new rucks. And we're all very competitive players, and we're all going to make each other better. But the number one ruck's position, whether Key decides to play 2 rucks, 1 ruck, he's going to pick the best player at the time. But this time of year, we're not really thinking about that stuff. We just want to make sure we're competing every week and getting better, making each other better as well, so the team can play better.
Now, Ivan, I believe your cousin is Ivan Marek.
Yes.
Yeah.
First cousin.
I had the pleasure of coaching Ivan when he was here, coming back from the Adelaide Crows playing with the Maggies. So an absolute joy to coach, actually, and a terrific bloke. How much of an influence, or what would you say, is a sounding board is he for you?
He's probably one of the most important and influential people in my career and my personal life, I think.
Great.
You coached him. He cares so much about players. And he competes so hard, and he just wants the best out of everyone. And he's passed his skills on to me, whether they be physically or just the way I go about my life. And I probably can't thank him enough for what he's done for me as a person and a player.
You might need to grow a mullet in his honour, Ivan.
When's the last time you saw a photo of me, mate?
Yeah,
he got one now.
Of course he has.
Now, are you an Ivan or an Ivan?
No, he's an Ivan, and I know
Ivan,
that because I remember when I coached Ivan Marek, he came up to me and I said, "Now, is it Ivan?" Timmy, no.
No, it's Ivan.
It's Ivan.
So what are you? Croatian? What's your
background?
Yeah, both my parents were born overseas in Croatia. Well, Yugoslavia at the time, but they're Croatian heritage. And they moved over here at different times in their lives. My mum was 4, my old man was 25.
Wow.
So they both come at different times, different times in the world as well. So I've been lucky enough to get some good Croatian food at home and get some nice culture. Yeah.
You Croats are mad, mate. You got a bit of a mad streak in you, Ivan?
I keep hearing that. Yeah, I feel like there's a bit of expectation to be a little bit loose. But...
Come on, mate, get loose.
Well,
you got a mullet, get loose. Ivan Marich was loose.
He was a terrific fella, never loose. Hey,
come on, Lucy, Ivan.
Just on a lifestyle side of things, you originally Canberra. Is it a bit more, out of Melbourne into Adelaide, bit more in that sort of lifestyle change?
It's interesting, moving from Canberra to Melbourne was a massive adjustment just to the chaos of Melbourne. The footy bubble as well, and now I've moved to Adelaide, which in a way reminds me of Canberra, but there's still a bit of footy bubble. So I've experienced a little bit of everything. So it's nice. I do like Adelaide. I'm living just in the northern suburbs, which is nice. Got some good cafes and stuff around. Just plenty of things to do, which is good as well.
Excellent. Now, do you believe your best footy's to come?
I think so. Yeah, I'm at a good. I've had a.
That's a good
bit
answer.
Of a, yeah. You got to believe in yourself, don't you? I mean, there's definitely things the outside world will consider I'm consistent at, but there's definitely room to grow for me as well. I'm going to learn so much more at a new club and so much more from the coaches and the style of play that Port Adelaide play, which is so fast and offensive, which is so good to see. And I'm slowly learning and trying to go my old ways for the team, really.
Mate, you're 27. Your best football's coming. Don't worry about that. Now, a couple of questions left field for you, mate. Firstly, you got any Netflix or streaming recommendations?
Oh, where's
I like to get to know what he's into, what he's watching.
Okay. Yeah, well, I actually don't really binge too much TV. I think the main things I do watch is a bit of Disney Channel.
Yes.
They've got a few things, but I've been binging Scandal. It's an old TV show back in I'd say early 2010. Yeah, 2010s, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. Yeah.
Okay.
Grey's Anatomy.
Oh,
as well,
yeah. My daughter will be happy with that. She loves that show. What about everybody gets a Spotify list and they tell you what your most listened to was? What was on your hit list?
It's actually really surprising. It was Kylie Minogue. I don't know how, because I only got Spotify recently.
Right.
And it was all Kylie Minogue. I think that one of her new songs came out. It was on repeat for a bit.
Yeah. I just watched a big special on it in England. It was fantastic. She's
gone
an absolute talent.
Gone and got herself a plasticine head again.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
Hey, Yvonne, we just had Riley O'Brien on. He's got a Master's in Neurophysical Science and a Doctorate in Medical Science. You're the ruckman at Port. Are you a smarty or a dummy?
Yeah, that's amazing that Riley's been able to juggle a medical degree and AFL footy. I got to give him a lot of credit for that, because that's really tough. But and he's a bloody good player as well. So he's been able to put a lot of energy in both. I think the balance is really important. I'm studying finance and business, so I've gone down a bit of a different path. So yeah, I'm not really going to be saving lives like he might do in the future.
Well, great answer.
You're saving lives financially.
He's going to be an arch rival of yours, Ivan. You two are going to go toe-to-toe.
Yeah, throughout my career, I've always really wanted to play against him, because he's such a fit ruckman, and he's really competitive. And I guess now I get the opportunity to hopefully play against him at home or at Adelaide Oval, which would be pretty cool.
Well done.
Ivan, thank you very much for the chat. Mate. We're looking forward to your best football coming here at Alberton with Port Adelaide, and it was a pleasure chatting up and catching up with you, mate.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Really appreciate it. Port Adelaide's newest recruit and ruckman, Ivan Soldo.
He didn't fall for my crap.
No. Yeah, I think
he's clever for that.
He's doing finance.
What a terrific lad.
Yeah, very.
You know what? Your club seems to be able to find those character types. Like the solid.
I like it.
It must be something to do with Cripsies. Like you would have.
You know how much homework.
But you have a look at the boys you've got.
All recruitment teams do, though. They do a lot of. It's not just about whether they play or fill a position. It's also massive
their
character, their family background,
whether they fit in.
The rest of it. And to have Ivan Marek as like your biggest influence in your sounding board, he's a ripper. And I can speak so highly of him, having coached him. He was just an absolute gem of a man. So if Ivan Soldo's anything like him, we're in good shape.
We'll see.
It's going to be a fun year, Rob versus Soldo, and the couple of showdowns coming up. It is 11 minutes to 6. Let's check your traffic.
At Vale Park, look out for a breakdown Northeast Road near Ascot Avenue. Dry Creek, truck with motorcycle crash there. Cabin Road near Churchill Road. Another collision, this one's at Smithfield Main North Road near Anderson Walk. Bit sluggish at the moment for works at Gillis Plains, Green Junction Road near Blacks Road, and look out for cameras Education Road, Happy Valley, and Eldersmith Road at Mawson Lakes. With Keno Go, you're only 3 minutes away from a whopping $40 million jackpot. Play with only $2. Download the Keno Go app and start playing today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. 5AA is inviting you into the studio every afternoon. Head to the 5AA live stream. Thanks to Foodland. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland. The mighty South Aussies.
Get out of the way, mate. Oh my God. What is this guy doing right at my arm? Thanks for that. I'll just stop right here. No, don't worry about it. Fine. Sakes, move! The police are coming. Move out of the way. Thanks for letting me in. Are you for real? Get out of my way. What the hell, mate? Is he actually serious? What the...
Beat the heat
Keep cool with Fix Now, Pay Later options available. Book now. For great service guaranteed, call 1300 Automasters.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. For fixed price services, call Precise.
For a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
This is life-changing. The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery's $3.6 million grand prize is spectacular seaside living at Henley Beach. You could be living on permanent holiday mortgage-free in a fully furnished Scott Salisbury home with $250,000 cash in the bank. Get your tickets now. Join the fight and support life-changing medical research for all South Australians. homelottery.com.au. Licence M14493.
Mawson Lakes Mazda's 2023 plate clearance sale is on now. Discover amazing deals across the entire range, including free on-road costs on all cars. That's right, free on-road costs across the entire Mazda range. Hurry in to find your perfect model and colour. The sooner you get to the showroom, the better your chance of scoring your dream car. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city, Salisbury Highway.
Live cheaper this summer with Cheapest Chips.
Cheapest Chips.
Cool down your fur babies with the new large pet pool with sprinkler, only $79. Clean up with a Germanica 2-in-1 stick vacuum, now only $109, save $30. 1 metre by 3 metre artificial grass, 2 for $79. Finish 110-pack dishwashing tablets, only $18.99. Cheap every day. And Quilton 36-pack toilet paper, a hot buy at $19.99. Do summer cheaper at Cheapest Chips, in-store or online.
Who's giving away life-changing cash every night this week? Deal or no deal? Sounds exciting, Grant Benya. When's it on?
6 p.m. tonight.
Deal or no deal?
6 p.m. weeknights on 10 and 10 Play.
Move out of the way! Thanks for letting me in. Are you for real? What the hell, mate? Is he actually serious?
Keep your cool in traffic with ice cold aircon from Automasters. Fix Now, Pay Later options available. Call 1300 Automasters.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
This is the 5AA Sports Show.
7 minutes to 6 here on this Wednesday evening. Coming up shortly, we'll chat Adelaide Invitational. That's coming up February 10, not too far away. Some of the best runners and athletic types in the country. It's ahead of the Olympics as well, because it's an Olympic year. Will be taking part down at Miley.
Oh, they'll be fair dinkum. Don't worry about that. At the Adelaide Invitational, they'll be absolutely ripping into it.
I'm getting smashed on unique home-style food text. Someone needs to send Rowe a form to legally change his name to Stephen Q. the Thunderclouds Rowe. Or Kiss him death.
That might have
I
been
did not play Can You Feel It on the 31st of January on the back of Riley O'Brien saying he reckons he can win a flag. I did not.
I think you did.
You regret that instantly.
He didn't use the F word for finals. He used the F word for flag.
Yeah, you got it.
And I might have just got a little bit.
Yeah, you did. You jumped straight on it.
Bristled up in a little tag.
It's great.
But I reckon that's just in it's in jest, isn't it? It's not. I don't
well,
mean it. It's like a.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
If that's how you feel about it, then we'll have to.
Well, in
treat it that way.
2017, when I played it 3 times a show
You
every
meant
day
it.
I meant every time we bloody played it.
Yeah, you did.
But now
And
it's just a throwaway
to
thing.
be fair, those 2 finals performances
Oh,
were.
I know.
They probably warranted it.
Well, the
Can you
problem
feel
was every Crow fan, every media person like me that was a Crow in that grand final week, and we were flying over trucks, planes, cars, we filled the joint. We just thought we'd just shoo it in. So did the players.
Yeah. Now, thankfully, it hasn't had a lasting impact, all those
You know,
6 years ago.
Just lucky my club's never had a dark day like that. So.
119.
5 minutes to 6. Just before we go to the news, of course, it is the Australian Cricket Awards tonight. We've got the AB medal and the Belinda Clark medal up for grabs. Lots of cricketers are filing in to crown over there in Melbourne. We might hear from some of them on the red carpet shortly. But this is from Steve Smith just the other day, because there's been lots of talk about him opening the batting. He's responded to the critics out there.
There was a lot of commentary around I'd failed in 2 or 3 innings or whatever it was. I had a not out and 2 low scores, and I think I'm averaging 60 as an opener. So, I didn't really read too much into it. It was just another position. I've batted against a new ball numerous times, coming in early.
91 not out. Carried his bat.
What I do like is that he said that I don't read too much into it, but he knew every single report, everything. It's like, oh, come on, mate. Of course you're listening. And look, it's not, again, I always say it's not his fault. It's not Cameron Green's fault or his fault. It's the selectors who go, we're going to do this and put that there and you there.
You're not a fan of the selectors, are you?
Well, not. No, I think they've been way too cocky in the way they've behaved, and it's, for me, it started right back when they dropped Travis Head in India. I thought that was just
well, it might be
insanity.
Time for us to get George Bloody Bailey back on. He's the chairman of the selectors. Got a lot to answer for.
That's his middle name, isn't it?
Well, Cornsey dubbed him that.
Yeah, he did.
Every time we played him in the Sheffield Shield, he got a ton.
Yeah.
And started to go, George Bloody Bailey. So it's cotton on.
Yeah, he's just a little frustrating, I think, at times.
Yeah,
Even Andrew McDonald at times. I know they try and make excuses and back up their team and all the like, but I just think we have shifted this around. And to say, I heard Mark Taylor say, get in there, make some runs, let's get some, where's the young talent coming, all the rest of it. Well, where's the reward for it when Bancroft has dominated Shield for 2 years, is an opener, and is not even considered? That is just, for me, if you want to get somebody back in, if you owe somebody, like they said, Cam Green, if you owe anybody, you owe Cam Bancroft for what happened to him as a young player who was used as a pawn in Sandpaper Gate.
Yeah.
That is the truth. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going for a rest.
Well said. Well said. When the other two are playing...
Yeah, they came back after their
one was
suspension.
a captain who turned a blind eye to it and lost
Correct.
it. The other one set it up, the attack dog in Warner, and a young kid, had the 80 grit, bunting sandpaper in pocket, polish, never to be seen again.
And could do no more than what he's done, gone back, head down, made runs.
Yeah, I'm hearing
Still
it.
in the wilderness.
Yeah, well said. It's just before we go to the break, Mitchell Marsh and Pat Cummins have spoken at the red carpet.
It's been a crazy year. There's no doubt about that. I think the team success that we've had has probably been the most enjoyable part of it.
I'd love to see Mitchy get it. He's made it, kind of banged down the door and demanded a spot in all 3 formats with the way he's played.
So those two being the most likely favourites, who wins tonight?
Well, Mitch Bison Marsh, not that long ago, when he played for Australia, got jeered. Remember that?
He said himself.
Jeered and booed.
He sadly said himself when he was in England, he said, well, at one stage I was the most hated cricketer in Australia. And that's a bit sad. Because, again, it's never these blokes' fault. They're being selected. So I love the way he bounced back, and he made a very important ton in England at that stage.
I want him to win it.
Well done. And it'd be a really nice feather in his cap, but I think Paddy Cummins is way too consistent, I think, not to win it.
Have your say, 8223 0000. 6 o'clock news time.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. In 2024, 5AA has Adelaide covered. Wake up with Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
It was a stunning night for South Australia.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Welcome to 5AA Breakfast.
From 9, Matthew Pantelis takes you through the morning.
What a circus this is.
After 7 news at midday, it's Conversations with Cornsey.
I think you're going to be as interested as I am.
Before a fresh voice for Adelaide afternoons.
Daytime one, I'll just point out.
Join Stacey Lee, live weekdays from 1:30.
Not an after dark show.
For the very latest in sport, it's Rowey and Timmy G to get you home.
It is unbelievable.
5AA, all things Adelaide in 2024.
MG has arrived in the Adelaide Hills. Be a part of history as we launch Adelaide Hills MG with stock ready to go and amazing launch offers. Discover the range of exciting new hatchbacks, sedans, SUVs and EVs, including the 2023 Car Sales Car of the Year, the MG4 Electric. See them for yourself on the road less travelled at Adelaide Hills MG. Mount Barker Road, Bridgewater, MG's new home in the hills. Head to ahmgmotors.com.au for our launch offers. LNVD 325189.
Hi, I'm Peter Berkowitz from Berkowitz Furniture. Our summer stock clearance sale is on now, and you'll save up to 40%. Save on our comfortable leather and fabric sofas, sofa beds, recliners, dining tables, dining chairs, including our Australian-made collection. Be part of our massive summer stock clearance sale and save up to 40%. But hurry, sale ends soon. At Berkowitz, we're not just a furniture store, we're a furniture family. Mile End Homemaker Centre and online.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
A sunny day tomorrow, a top of 28 degrees. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm David Bruce.
Berkowitz summer sale ends soon. Up to 40% off sofas, tables, recliners and more. Online, in-store at Berkowitz Mile End.
Federal Treasurer Jim Chalmers says while more must be done to help tackle inflation, the current trend is encouraging. Figures out today show consumer prices have risen 4.1% for the year to December. That's down on the previous reading, and it means the Reserve Bank will likely keep interest rates on hold for the time being. Jim Chalmers says it's welcome news, but says many households are still under pressure.
My job is to make sure that we're getting the budget in better nick, that we're providing meaningful cost of living help, and that we are recognising and acknowledging and understanding and doing something about the cost of living pressures which are still in the economy despite this welcome and encouraging progress.
The federal government's ramping up its campaign to secure coalition support for its tax reforms. The opposition is yet to formally decide its position on the changes, but has accused the Prime Minister of breaking an election promise. Labor has released new modelling, which shows the plan will leave 85% of voters in coalition seats better off. An elderly driver hit the wrong pedal in the SA Aquatic and Leisure Centre car park at Marion this morning. She lost control of her Holden, side-swiped a Toyota before ploughing into 2 other parked cars. No one was injured. Chloe has told Seven she saw it happen.
Just a big crash, really. She did have her foot left on the accelerator, so she did burn out the engine a little bit. There was a bit of smoke and everything.
A woman accusing a rugby star of sexually assaulting her in Sydney has been questioned about her interactions with him before the alleged incident. Court reporter Josh Bryant has more.
Kirtley Beale has pleaded not guilty to 3 charges over the alleged incidents at a Bondi pub in late 2022. A woman has told the court the rugby star had groped her before later following her into a toilet cubicle and forcing himself on her. His lawyers argue there was no criminal touching and any sexual activity was consensual. The woman has denied that she could have been mistaken when remembering who had touched her at the bar and insisted that she told Beale to stop and swatted his hand away after the alleged grope. She also rejected suggestions that she was being flirtatious with him earlier in the night.
Scientists hope freezing the cells of 100 different animals could help bring back extinct animals. The museum's Victoria Research Institute is creating a living biobank of 100 species by cryo-freezing. Associate Professor Andrew Pask says it's a simple process.
What we do is we just take a tiny little bit of their ear or a foot pad, we release that animal back into the wild, we grow those cells in the lab, and then we freeze them down in cold storage. And once we've done that, those cells will last forever.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Get a Walco blankie for your pool this summer and save water evaporation and money. Walco.com.au.
West Australian opening batter Cam Bancroft has been voted by his peers as the Men's Domestic Player of the Year. He says the award is recognition of a lot of hard work.
You don't play to achieve these awards, but I think when they come and if they happen, it's a nice thing to be proud of and reflect on and, use as motivation to keep wanting to improve and get better, and that's what I think this reward represents to me.
Tasmania's Elise Villani has picked up the Women's Award. Those awards are separate from the Australian Cricket Awards, which will be announced in Melbourne tonight. 4-time Premiership player Jared Ruffhead has returned to Hawthorn to become the club's player acquisition manager. Since retiring from football at the end of 2019, Ruffhead spent 4 years in a variety of roles at St Kilda. Now checking 5AA traffic.
We've got you covered for shade this summer. Visit the Outdoor Scene's new location, Wilton Avenue, Somerton Park.
There's a breakdown to look at from the drive home at Vale Park, North East Road near Ascot Avenue. Roadworks at Seaton, Tapley's Hill Road near Grange Road, speeds at 40 there, and slow for works at Gillis Plains, Green Junction Road near Blacks Road. A few cameras for the drive home. You find one Grant Road, Brunella, and another one to Midway Road at Elizabeth Downs. Make Wednesday wow with some pork Sanchoy bao. Find the recipe and more pork wowers at pork.com.au and get some pork on your fork. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now, the latest forecast, sunny, a top of 28 tomorrow after getting down to 14 overnight. Friday, cloud clearing up to 29, and a great weekend if you like the heat. Sunny and warm both days, 33 on Saturday, 35 on Sunday. Currently 23. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Thanks, I'm Kate Collins. Tonight's headlines. A grieving Adelaide dad has confronted the driver accused of killing his son as she walked from court free on bail. An alert tonight over a Facebook sales scammer targeting northern suburbs residents. And Optimism Australia is winning the fight against inflation, which will see rate cuts for mortgage holders. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
When you're on more than one prescription, the dollars start to add up. At National Pharmacies, we give the full dollar back to our members on every PBS copay prescription at every store, every day. Because at National Pharmacies, we understand that every dollar counts.
Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a contagious virus causing respiratory illness in older adults and death among the frail elderly. While vaccines to fight the disease have been approved overseas, Fusion Clinical Research is holding a trial in Adelaide to find a remedy for Australia. If you're between 60 and 85 and interested in participating, go to fusiontrials.com.au. You'll be reimbursed for your time helping Australia's elderly into the future. That's fusiontrials.com.au.
Ray White, big name in real estate, but also the biggest name in business broking. What makes us big? Our people, like Brett Buckley and his team. MBA, lecturer, and multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year. Brett doesn't just read a P&L, he feels it. If you're selling or expanding your business, Brett can take your business apart and find you more money. And we're not talking small change. Go on, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
This is the 5AA Sports Show.
7 minutes after 6. You might have just heard in the 5AA news there, some really good news there for Cameron Bancroft, who we were talking about just before the break. He's been named Men's Domestic Player of the Year, so that's some great news for him and voted by his peers, which I think is an excellent sign. And also some great news for South Australia. Emma DeBro has been named the Young Cricketer of the Year, the Betty Wilson Young Cricketer of the Year. That's fantastic for her.
Yeah, congratulations. We've interviewed Emma before, and she was awesome. So well done, mate. Congratulations.
Cam Bancroft should stand up and just flick the bird.
Both ways. Yeah, McDonald, Bailey.
Done.
Yeah, eat this.
Eat this. My peers think I should be in the team.
Yeah.
It's not my fault I had 80 grit paper in my pocket.
Yeah. Given to me by. Anywho, let's get on with some exciting news. The Australian Summer Series returns to Adelaide in 2024 with the Adelaide Invitational on February 10. Now, we've got a young para-athlete who is lighting it up in the 1,500 metres. He's only 18 years of age. Ooh. He joins us now, Angus Hinksman. G'day, Angus.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Excellent, my friend. Well, first of all, are you excited about the event?
Yeah, it's always a good one in Adelaide. It's grown over the last 3 years, so I'm really excited for it.
Now, 1,500 metres, why did you choose that distance?
Well, I started my athletics journey more on the cross-country side of things. So when I was in school, in primary school, I did some school cross-country.
Yeah.
And then heading into the summer season, I kind of got pushed into track and then went on from there.
Beautiful. So, last year you achieved quite a bit, and you're quite proud of that. How far can you go?
My goals for the next 4 years is obviously Paralympics this year, and hopefully on to LA, and then Brisbane after that.
Wow.
But obviously want to improve on my bronze, or at least retain it at the bare minimum.
Yeah, I like that. Your goal was to finish third, but who's in front of you? You got is it one of your mates that's just in front of you?
Yeah, we've got the Canadian Nate in who won it, and then Reece Langdon, who I'm going to be racing in Adelaide, which is pretty cool.
Well, he's your arch rival. Hope there's no friendly there. Elbows out around the corners, Angus.
Yeah, not during.
For sure.
Yeah. Now you've already had or ran an A qualifying time, haven't you?
Just came back from Canberra and got my second one down pat. So that's the two I need, and we're as good as gold at the moment.
Beautiful.
So you've qualified. You could safely say you're off to Paris.
As close as you can get. They'll make
Okay.
the real team announcements in around April after Nationals.
Yeah. 326 is the world record for the men's. You're a 405, which is unbelievable. T38, what is that classification, Angus?
That's mild cerebral palsy.
Okay.
So 326, that's the able-bodied time, and the T38 world record is 347.
That is unbelievable.
That's flying. That is flying.
Wow.
You're
Yeah.
talking nearly 4 laps there. You're just short of 100 metres and being able to run that time.
And what's going to be good, Angus, you're a South Aussie, proud to be. Your home crowd, so that should get a good time out of you. Are you fit? Are you peaking? Are you troughing? Are you plateauing? Are you building? Where are you at, Angus?
Yeah, just came off a pretty big training camp in New South Wales, in Perisher, in the mountains. So should be peaking pretty good for Adelaide.
Being the hometown event, how good is it to have it in Adelaide, first of all, the way it's building up, and how good is it to run in front of your hometown?
Yeah, it's great. It's something I'm always keen to do, and we've obviously got Nationals in Adelaide as well, which is something to look forward to as well as the Adelaide Invitational.
Now, you mentioned fellow Aussie, Reece Langdon. You do compete, but are your mates away from the track?
Oh, 100%. It's there's definitely a bit of an on and off switch when it comes to on the track and off. Yeah, I've done a fair bit of training with him outside of racing as well, and he's a very good bloke.
Oh, don't get too close to him, Angus. Come on, son.
Now, Angus, every athlete, they work obviously hard physically, but do you set your own goals? Do you have anybody that assists you with goals?
Yeah, I've got a pretty big support team in South Australia. Obviously, my parents are a big part of my running, and I work really closely with Safi, who helped me with a lot with my planning and my goal setting along the years as well.
Right.
Athletics is a labour of love. It's in you, and it sounds like it is with you, Angus. Funding's the big thing, and you mentioned your parents. Do you work outside of it, or are you full time? Give us a rundown on your normal week.
He's 18.
Yeah, I train pretty much 6 days a week. It's like 100k mileage per week, and I do a job on the side. I try to crank out most of my training in the morning, so
Wow.
I leave the rest of the day for work or whatever else I'm doing.
Oh, good on you. And did you finish year 12?
Yeah, finished year 12 last year.
Not studying?
Not this year. I've chosen to go with a gap year just because of the Paralympics and stuff.
Yeah.
What are you doing to make a quid there?
Nothing wrong. Well, he's off to Paris, a gap year.
Yeah.
Not a bad year to have a gap
He's
year.
obviously got a little job. What are you up to?
I'm a cheeky little salesman at a running store. Nothing too crazy, but gets me by.
I like the cheeky bit, Angus.
Angus, give him a plug. Which is it? Where is it?
Running company, South Adelaide.
Beautiful, mate. Excellent.
Just by Christie's Beach.
Excellent. And when they come in, you have a bit of a conversation with them, ask them what they're up to, how they're running, give them a few recommendations.
Yeah, we get them on the treadie and we film their running. We give them the full in depth on every bit of technology in the shoes these days.
Yeah, you're probably giving them a bit of coaching too, Angus.
Angus, I was an athlete in my day, a marathoner. I used to wear Asics. What were they the best running shoes?
They're pretty good. I actually can't really up them too much. I've got something on the horizon that I'll actually be announcing at Adelaide. So,
we've almost got a little.
Well, that's
scoop.
a tease.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, that is a
That's
tease.
a tease.
Gonna have to put you onto Nikes there. I reckon they're the shoe for you.
Well, that's even better. You know what? Asics are out the door. I'm a Nike man like Angus.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the
big tick.
Yeah, well, it's going to be the big tick, and it's going to be called the Angus. It's going to be a special shoe called the Angus. What about that? That's a scoop.
That sounds pretty good. Rolls off the tongue quite nicely.
Excellent, mate. Well,
We'll have a ripper, Angus.
Absolutely. Have a sensational event here in Adelaide, the Adelaide Invitational. It'll be awesome. And, as Rowey says, you can always be friends with Reece after you've beaten him.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks, guys.
Good on
Well
you,
done.
mate. Paralympic athlete, SA's own, Angus Hinksman. And I'll tell you what, we're going to keep an eye on him. And I reckon we'll get him on too, because he's got some big goals. He's looking at the next 3 Olympics, and at 18 years of age, you can. But he seems like a very determined young man.
Is it this weekend?
February 10th.
Oh, February 10th.
February
Just
10th.
the Adelaide Invitational.
Yeah.
Actually, I drove past there. The development is going ahead leaps and bounds.
It's good to go over the bridge and have a look down on it.
That's going to be a world-class little, what do you call it, precinct?
Yeah, correct.
Athletic precinct.
Definitely.
Well done.
Yeah, they're doing a great job down at SA Athletic Stadium. February 10. Lock it in your calendar on a Saturday night. It is 15 after 6.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Breaking news.
Sky News Australia can reveal
In a major development, you can stream your favourite Sky News shows.
it's a brand new way to join the battle of ideas.
Here, you won't hear an echo.
Debate is essential to a healthy democracy.
Access the latest news, sport, and weather. Plus, the opinion that you won't find anywhere else. Your favourite shows, one app. Stream for $5 a month. Download the Sky News Australia app right now. Conditions apply.
The only thing better than Aldi's Aussie white seedless grapes, now only $4.49 per kilo, is having someone feed you those grapes. Faster, whatever your name is. It's Ego, sire. Aldi, good. Different.
There are many joys that come with growing older, and Arbor Vitae helps you optimise these joys. Arbor Vitae is an anti-inflammatory supplement made from natural ingredients like pycnogenol, enzyme papain from the papaya fruit, aloe vera and honey. It helps to reduce mild arthritis, relieve other joint pain, and helps to maintain healthy blood glucose, cholesterol levels and cognitive functions. For Tracy from New South Wales, Arbor Vitae has saved her career. She's a cake maker by trade and suffered with sore hands for years. After trying Arbor Vitae, all her pain disappeared and she thanks Arbor Vitae for saving her career. Arbor Vitae health supplements are now available at Chemist Warehouse, Australia's cheapest chemist. arborvitae.com.au. Always read the label and follow directions for use.
At Focus Home Improvements, we really focus on our tradespeople. We look after them because we know in turn they'll look after you. A happy tradesperson is a great tradesperson, and ours are the happiest in town. So, if you're looking at a roof restoration, gutters, roller shutters or outdoor blinds, come and see us at Focus Home Improvements for a competitive price, quality Australian materials and outstanding workmanship. To arrange a free no-obligation quote, visit focushomeimprovements.com.au.
Ray White, big name in real estate, but also the biggest name in business broking. What makes us big? Our people, like Brett Buckley and his team. MBA, lecturer, and multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year. Brett doesn't just read a P&L, he feels it. If you're selling or expanding your business, Brett can take your business apart and find you more money. And we're not talking small change. Go on, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA.
Introducing the all-electric 7-seat Kia EV9. Silence never felt so loud. Visit kia.com.au to find out more.
Kia, movement that inspires.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
19 minutes after 6 here on this Wednesday evening.
Well, yes, and we're going to change tack a little bit. 19 minutes past 6, we're going to get to it. Gaelic footy. It's one of the oldest footballs in the world.
Code.
As a code, about 140 odd years old. It's a national sport. And it's got a real thriving little community here, Timmy.
Yeah.
Now, I believe you've played
I
Gaelic.
have. I've been out to the old Panther Park, they used to call it.
That's it.
St Mary's, and played out there, filled in once, yeah.
How long ago?
Oh, it's got to be about 5 years. Yeah. Enjoyed it, loved it. Just filled in for a mate's team.
My Irish son-in-law, Eddie.
Oh, he'd love the game.
Plays.
Yeah.
Drags James out in the off-season.
Yeah.
Loves it.
It's a great game.
It is a great game. Val Ward is the head coach for, I think it's the Flanders O'Neills, has been for about 8 years. He's also the junior development officer for the juniors. They've got a big drive this weekend. We thought we'd get Val on. Val, how are you?
How are you going, Rowey?
We tried to sell Gaelic. You sell it to us. How good a game is it?
Oh, it's a fantastic game, man. It's played all over the world. It's a great team sport. 15-a-side, really good fitness, great skills involved, whether you're running up the pitch, soloing it, or picking the ball off the ground. Great hand pass skills, kick passing skills, great overhead marks. It's probably not as hard on the body as footy. Like, there's no tackling involved.
Yes.
It's more like the basketball press.
Yep.
When you go back to fly the footy, there's no knees in the back.
Yes, that's good.
You're protected putting your head over the football as well. So it's good benefits that way.
Yeah, they like to have a little blue as well when they can, the Irish. I do know that. But Val, tell us about your competition here in Adelaide.
So our season runs from October to March, so it doesn't coincide with the footy.
Yep.
We have a men's competition and a women's competition. The men's runs Friday night. The women's is Sundays. The men's is 15-a-side. The women's at the minute is 9-a-side, but it's growing again.
Cool.
Our finals are approaching. 3 weeks' time, we start quarter-final, semi-final. And then the big show is grand final on the 10th of March.
Okay, and where are your ovals? Is it still Panther Park?
Would Panther Park be Kenilworth Footy Club?
That's it.
Down at St Mary's?
That's it.
Yeah, so there's no ovals. We all play everything there. All the women's games, the men's games, all the junior training will be down there. It's a fantastic facility. It's been upgraded so many times in the last couple of years to Kenilworth.
Yeah, it's awesome. Hey, as far as getting kids out to play in juniors, you got registration on Sunday, is it?
Yes, Sunday morning.
Beautiful.
So,
What time? What time did that start?
10 o'clock Sunday morning.
Beautiful. 10 a.m. Not too bad. Parents can get the kids out there, sign them up, and give them. You have a little bit of an education session, teaching them how to play and the like.
Yeah, we'll have 5 or 6 coaches out there. We're taking under 8s, 10s, 12s, 14s, every age group who wants to come along.
Beautiful.
It's a brilliant sport to learn. The kids love it. I loved it growing up.
Yeah.
And I think we just need to push it more in Adelaide.
Yeah, we do. I might get Gary McIntosh out there to teach you how to be a goalie.
Wow. What?
Oh, I've seen videos.
See, Val knew. So Val, you're the coach of the Flinders O'Neills. Where are you on the ladder?
Oh, at the minute we're top of the ladder. We're going all right.
Ooh, top of the ladder.
And how's my son-in-law Eddie's team and James Rowe's team?
They're in fourth, so they're in finals as well.
Oh, good.
Okay. So anybody a threat?
It's all right being in top of the ladder now, but you want to win the main one.
Yeah.
Like we won the league last year, but we lost the championship, so we're going for the championship this year. That's the big one.
Okay.
Well done.
Gotcha.
So again, Val, you got registrations. You want juniors. It is a great game. Just do a shout out again. Where can they go? What time and when can they nominate?
So come to Kenilworth Footy Club Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. There'll be registration down there. Plenty of coaches. Just bring your water bottles and your shoes. We're taking all age groups. We're going to train for 5 weeks. And then on the 6th week, we're going to let the kiddies play a few challenge matches on grand final day in front of the crowds.
Great.
It'll be a good show for the kids.
How
Awesome.
good's that?
That is awesome.
Val, thanks for your time, mate. All the best. Well done, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you, Rowey. Cheers. All the best. Take care.
Well done.
Great.
Gaelic.
I love it. Oh, it is a great fun game. I actually years ago played too. They used to have a comp out at Gazer.
Yep.
And they'd have them playing out there, 3 different games happening at a time, and it was just great fun. And then what I loved about it was, when you're retired, you no longer want to get smashed to the ground and knees in the back and the like. So you get the sort of touch and the feel of footy, even though it's a round ball, but you're not getting that physical.
And it's up and down the ground.
It's up and down the ground. You can still handball, you can still kick and the like, and I think you're allowed a couple of bounces. And it was good fun. I loved it.
Below your waist, it's soccer, and then you've got to flick it up.
Get
Can't
it to
pick it up,
yourself.
and
so
then off you go.
And it was really good fun. I enjoyed it, but might be a bit past me these days.
Registration, Kenilworth, Sunday, 10. Get the kids out there.
Excellent work. Yeah. Hey, just quickly a sport update. Earlier this morning, very much early morning, the Asian Cup was continuing and the Socceroos were awaiting who they were going to play.
Who did we get?
Saudi Arabia took on South Korea. Saudis were leading 1-0 until the 90th minute.
Guess what they did?
A little header in.
They parked 2 buses.
It didn't work.
They needed to attack.
And South Korea took a a 1-all.
Penalty.
Yep, and then it went to
Penalties.
and then a 4-2 win for South Korea.
Yeah,
So
they're going to be kicking themselves.
amazing comeback.
And all the sheiks were there.
Oh dear, they've been shattered.
So you know what happens to the players now.
It's one of those
You never
things
see 'em
about, you know,
again.
when you kick one, you don't defend.
No.
You got to get the
They
second.
park the bus, mate.
Got to get the second.
You can't park the bus in a garage.
No.
Thank
A
you, Tony.
garage.
Correct.
Saturday morning, 2
Come
a.m.
on.
Our Socceroos in a quarter-final. That'll be very exciting.
Oh, when's that again? Say that again.
Saturday morning, 2 a.m.
Ooh.
So you'll stay up very late,
So it's
or you
Friday
go to bed
night.
early and get up early.
So we win that. We're in the
Semi-finals.
semi.
Yeah. Quite
Quarter,
amazing.
Semi. So semi's like a prelim, isn't it?
Correct.
So we're down
four.
to the last 8.
Yep.
And then if
Then
we
it's
get down to
four.
four.
if
It's
we
like a
win, we
prelim.
go to 4 and then 2.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
We're at
Yeah,
the
footy does it
prelim.
weird, doesn't it? Footy goes semi-prelim, grand final.
Yeah, I get confused when
Bit
you say
awkward.
semi.
Yeah. Well, semis usually mean the game before the main final, so that's what soccer
Fair
does.
call. Yeah, fair call.
All right, it's 26 after 6. Roscoe Tanner is our Where Are They Now? He's going to join us next.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
5AA Breakfast.
Australian Border Force have seized more than 13 tonnes of disposable vapes here in Adelaide. It's pictures on the news last